Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on AHS Tiger Life at Arlington High School. We've got the Arlington Tigers facing off against the Whitehaven Tigers in what should be a good game. Me and Luke are dressed out. Our student section's theme this week is rodeo night, so we've got on our flannels. But what's bigger than the theme is the implications of tonight's game. Arlington is 4-2, riding a 3-game win streak, and if they want to have a chance at the postseason, they've got to take a win tonight.
Whitehaven is 2-4. They're on a 4-game losing streak. They've lost all 3 of their first district games. 24-21 against Germantown, 42-7 against Houston, and 26-21 against Collierville. But don't let that mislead you. They are a very talented team. They have very good players, and right now they have the fire in them. I think they're going to show up tonight with something we haven't seen from them all season, because they should be doing better than what they've been doing. I think they're looking to get their first district win tonight.
Yeah, Arlington has come in 4-2, and Whitehaven, you know they've got this game circled on their schedule because they had the 4 rough opponents, 3 in the region, 1 being Brentwood, who's one of the best teams in the nation. So you've got to know that they've had this game circled as an automatic win. Arlington otherwise is on a 3-game win streak against 2 teams that they lost to last year, along with a beatdown of Overton in week 3. That was a big win for them. So I really expect the Arlington team to come out, and show a little fire themselves. They want to get this win to have a chance at the postseason.
Yeah. This game's going to be a fun one to watch. Arlington's on a 3-game win streak, and Whitehaven's on a 4-game losing streak. So both teams are on opposite ends of the spectrum right now, so this is going to be a great one to watch.
Yeah, for sure. We've got this game tonight, but Luke, I want to ask you this question. Who's your key player for tonight? Who are you looking for to step up?
Tonight, my key player is Grant Buchanan. The success of the team relies heavily on him. If he does good, then the team does good. If he does bad, then the team does bad. If he has a big game tonight, I think Arlington will surprise a lot of people.
Yeah, I agree. Grant Buchanan has been playing well these past 3 games in the win streak. But also for Arlington on the defensive side is going to be Jordan Batts. He plays outside linebacker. He's been recruited by MTSU and other schools. No offers yet, but he's been getting interest. But I think the balanced attack of Whitehaven is going to allow for him to be able to make plays. All right, if the defense settles, if the guys in the middle, those linebackers, if they play well, then I could see Arlington come out on top. But Jordan especially has to have a great game tonight.
Yeah, Jordan and Grant are both the defensive and offensive leaders. They're going to be the big deciders of this game. If Jordan and Grant both have a good game, then we're going to have a great game on our hands, and Arlington will surprise a lot of people.
Speaking of a great game, do you have Arlington surprising tonight?
Well, maybe. I have Whitehaven winning by a touchdown, 21-28. However, if Arlington's offense is on fire and their defense steps up big, then I think Arlington will have an upset.
I think they've got a shot. I think they can prove us wrong here. They're 4-2, Whitehaven 2-4 as we mentioned, but I've got Whitehaven as well. I think they're battle tested. They've played tough opponents. Going to Brentwood and playing a game like that, even if it's you get blown out, it's a learning experience, right? It shows you what it takes to be a good team. So I think Whitehaven's going to come out on top, 35-28. I don't expect any field goals. I expect them when they get into no man's land, they're going to go for it every time and not settle because each team is going to want to run up the score.
Yeah, this is going to be a fun one to watch tonight, Jake.
Yeah, for sure, and that's going to do it here for us. But be sure, if you're not watching the whole game, tune in to halftime. Gabriel Torres, one of our best former players, has decided to step away from the team. We'll be asking him why he made that decision and seeing his thoughts on it. But that's going to do it for us at the pregame show. We'll see you on the other side for the start of the game.
Arlington High School. As one of the premier high schools in the state of Tennessee, Arlington High School is proud to be a place for everyone. Whether it be an academic focus with more than 60 honors, AP, and dual enrollment courses, an exploration into the outstanding career and technology programs, becoming a playmaker in a top competitive sports program, or excelling in the second-to-none PAVE Fine Arts Academy. Learn more about Arlington High School at www.acsk-12.org.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are live on AHS Tiger Life. You are currently looking at the captains of the Arlington Tigers and the Whitehaven Tigers in what should be, honestly, the biggest matchup of the year for the Arlington Tigers.
Yeah, this is a big matchup. This is going to show what teams belongs in the playoffs.
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Jordan Batts, Carter Wood, Jackson Hare, and Clark Cocroft, the impact seniors for this team, and they're really going to need a big night. We talked about Whitehaven a little bit. They've got a balanced attack, and the game that really defined their season or defined this 4-game losing streak was the Germantown loss. They have a toe-tap grab touchdown with 30 seconds left in the game, and Germantown comes out of nowhere and runs a hook and ladder in order to get a touchdown in the last final seconds of the game. So that would have been their first district win, but now they're sitting at 0-3 in the district, and they're looking to get the win here.
Yeah, the Whitehaven Tigers are definitely coming out with a fire in their eyes. You saw in warm-ups, they were looking fierce. They were focused. They were ready for the game. Their coaches were all focused. They were getting hyped. They were staring down the Arlington team, and they're just looking to get a win. They're looking to get a big win, and no mercy from them.
Yeah. On the field, they looked fierce. They stood at midfield at the Tiger logo, chanted and yelled, and just stared down the Arlington Tigers, as Luke mentioned. And when you see something like that, when you see a team come on the road after a 4-game losing streak, you would assume they wouldn't be as confident as they are today, but they're locked in. They're ready to go.
Yeah, they mean business. But on Arlington, they have a 3-game winning streak. They're coming out. They have a lot of energy on their side, and they're looking to get a win. And this is a big win. This is the win that shows that Arlington can hang with good teams. They've beat the teams that they need to beat, but this is a game that will show that they're no one to be messed with.
Yeah, absolutely. This is definitely a season-defining game for the Arlington Tigers as they begin to make the field. We are live on AHS Tiger Life. My name is Jake Stoop alongside Luke McBride. We will be the voices for you tonight as we get ready for this game.
Yeah, so as we see kickoff, we have the Arlington Tigers kicking off and Whitehaven receiving. Let's see what will happen.
Yeah, for sure. This Whitehaven team is hungry. They're running out of the tunnel right now. They're ready to go, and as we said, they're 0-3 in the district right now. This is a pride game, really. As I said in the pregame show, they've got this game circled. They know it's going to be a win. They've got White Station Cordova after this, but Arlington is looking to make a change. They're looking to make a difference. They're looking to put their stamp on this game and surprise everybody else in this region.
Yeah, a team like Whitehaven coming off 4 losses, a team that's not used to losing this much. You know they've done a lot of running. You know they've had a lot of discipline in the last couple of weeks, and they're ready to end that losing streak.
Absolutely. Grant Buchanan on the offensive side and Jordan Batts are our key players for tonight. Let's see what impact they can have. But Buchanan's played well. In these games, the offense hasn't scored a ton of points in the White Station Cordova game, but they're hungry. They're ready to go. And absolutely, they have worked this week at what they can do best against Whitehaven.
Yeah, Grant's definitely going to be the defining player for Arlington tonight. If he has a big game, then I think Arlington might be able to pull this one off.
Yeah, for sure. But we are live. Action is about to begin. Let's go to the field. And Ethan Ford is set to kick off for this Arlington team in replacement of Chase Haskins, who went down with an injury. Ethan Ford is used to this, though. Let's see what kind of field position he gives the Tigers.
Yeah, Ethan Ford, just a junior. He's had some big kicks this season.
And Ford is off. They catch the ball at the 10-yard line. They're returning it. Jackson Lyons in coverage. He misses the ball, though. Oh, my goodness. Whitehaven's running down the right sideline. What in the world just happened? Talk about making a stamp on this game. A kick return touchdown for the first play of scrimmage. What in the world just happened? Whitehaven looking to come out and make their stamp on this game early.
Yeah, we knew Whitehaven would come out with a fire, but we didn't know they would have this much fire. They are ready to go. Their sideline is hype. Their players are hype, and they're ready to go. Arlington just seems dumbfounded by that play. They just got hit in the chin early. Maybe they can make a recovery. Let's see what happens.
And special teams has been a thing for the Tigers. That has been solid in these last 3 games. There, they give up a kick return touchdown. I'm honestly dumbfounded. What in the world just happened? The Whitehaven Tigers get up with 18 seconds into this game, and they're looking to have a 7-point lead.
Yeah, that is big for Whitehaven. They're looking to end that losing streak, and they've started off the right way.
They line up to kick. That's going to be number 84 with the kick there, the senior. That's going to be good. 7-0 for the Whitehaven Tigers. Their motto is protect the Haven, and that is absolutely what they're doing right now. I mean, I'm honestly shocked that they were able to come out and do that so quickly.
Yeah, I am too. That was a huge play. Let's see what Arlington can do to recover from that.
And Arlington has battled with adversity all season. In the Cordova game, they were down 13-7 at halftime, then decided to go on a 21-0 running streak right there to get the lead and take the win 28-13. So this team is used to being down early. Don't underestimate the Arlington Tigers in this game because they absolutely know how to battle down from behind.
Yes, that is very true, Jake. Arlington has been able to battle from losing very much this season. They've been being beat a lot, but they've always come back and they always make strides.
And that return touchdown, it was too fast. I couldn't even see the number. It's going to be Ahmad Miller, running back, 6-foot senior. And it didn't really matter his size or weight there. He just ran through everybody. I don't even know if he got touched. He just ran through everybody.
Yeah, the blocking was very good by Whitehaven.
All right, we've got Jeffrey McCarter returning for the Tigers, looking to have his own touchdown of his own. He gets around everybody. He is shut down at the 27-yard line. It looked like for a second there that he could break free. But Arlington's going to set up shop at the 28-yard line looking to go score.
Yeah, good return.
Yeah, that was a good return there for Jeffrey McCarter. It looked like he could break away, as we said, but instead he is stopped. It looks like they stopped him at the 29-yard line. And Grant Buchanan is coming out here. He's got a lot of pressure on him right now to deliver in what is an early 7-0 deficit.
Yeah, Grant's going to be our biggest key player tonight for the Tigers. He's the guy who's going to determine how good the Tigers do tonight.
Buchanan drops back to pass. He looks left. That's going to be Cole Leapshot on the catch there. He's got the size to do it and the speed. He makes it 6 yards down the field to get to the 38-yard line.
Yeah, Cole's the guy that we saw before the game when Whitehaven was staring down Arlington. He was the guy who was staring back right at him, and that's just perfectly fitting for him to get the first yards for Arlington.
There we go. They move 8 yards on that play. Buchanan back to pass with another screen pass. That's going to be Jackson Hare. He puts someone on skates. He's going to get to the sideline. In coverage there was Ortiz Wells, but Jackson Hare had none of that. He's going to get the first down for the Tigers.
Yeah, that is something that Arlington has gotten better at throughout the season, is definitely their passing. Their screen passing has worked very well for the Tigers. We've seen big touchdowns off their screen passes.
Buchanan with another one. Why not? He's got space on the left side. Jackson Hare looked like he could burst away, but instead that's going to be a 5-yard reception. Either way, that's a good one. And I want to highlight these screen passes specifically. We see that a little bit in the college game, but at the high school level, if you can learn to master the screen pass, it can work effectively, and Arlington's utilizing that early.
Arlington has been with the first 3 plays of the game with the screen pass, and they've been working out effective, so why change it?
That's going to be a handoff. I believe that's going to be Spears there. He makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's going to be the first third down of the drive, 3rd down and 5 for Arlington. And they are in the zone where you can't kick it, and it's really bad punting position because it'll probably set them up at the 15. So really Arlington definitely needs to get a first down here, or Coach Miller might look at going for it on 4th.
Yeah, Arlington needs to get a first down right here to keep the momentum going, to put a score on the board to tie it up with Whitehaven. That's something they need to do this game, is stick with them as close as they can, because they can't let this game get away from them.
Spears in motion to the right of Buchanan. Spears has been good lately. He fakes it to him. Buchanan rolls out. He's going to be sacked. It looked like he fumbled the ball, but it looked like the Arlington Tigers got on top of it. Good coverage there from the linebackers. And we talked about how important the Arlington Tigers linebackers would be, but it looks like Whitehaven's coming out early.
Yeah, Whitehaven's defense has shown that they are ready for this game, just like their offense is, and they're ready to get some stops.
And it looks like they are contemplating whether to go for it on 4th and 11. Yeah, they decide to punt it. Probably the best decision there. That tackle is going to be Mahamadou Diarra, not the famous soccer player, but instead the senior linebacker here for the Whitehaven Tigers. He looks to make an impact.
Yeah, Arlington needs to get a good punt right here, and they need to wrap up the returner. If they don't, we could see another touchdown.
And that tackle there was Diarra, as I said. He's committed to Alcorn State himself. So they've got some good guys here on the defensive side. That ball is going to bounce around. Looks like it's going to settle at the 34-yard line. Decent field position if you're the Tiger defense, but if you're Whitehaven, you came out and had that kick return touchdown first play. You've got all the momentum right now heading into what is an early drive in this first quarter.
Yeah, Whitehaven looks ready to go. Let's see what their offense is made of right here.
And this is going to be a crucial possession. Arlington, in the first drive of the MUS game, they came out and showed that they could stop them. So let's see here if the Tigers can do the same here.
Yeah, let's see what the Arlington defense is ready to do. We have our leaders, Jordan Batts and Carter Wood, ready to go. And Jordan Batts being our leaders in tackles this season, he needs to step up big and keep Whitehaven off the board.
Yeah, and here's that starting lineup for the defense. And it doesn't matter right now because that's going to be the running back, Ahmad Miller, the same dude who ran it for a kick return touchdown. He's down to the 28-yard line. Oh, my goodness, what just happened there. Ahmad Miller is asserting his will right now early in this game.
Yeah, he's ready to go. He's been tearing up the Arlington defense and the Arlington special teams. He's a guy that's going to have a big game.
He's already got over 100 all-purpose yards so far in this game, well over 100 if I'm being exact, but Whitehaven's going to get the ball at the 30-yard line. Handoff to Miller, why not? He's been doing so good lately. He gets about 2 yards on the play, though. Those Arlington linebackers really shut him up there.
Yeah, the Arlington defense does a very good job. When it goes up the middle, they're good about finding the running back and stopping, getting a tackle.
And we assumed that Jordan Lee, the 3-star running back, would be the starter here for the Whitehaven Tigers. But instead, he missed his entire junior season with a torn ACL. But either way, he said he's getting interest. I'm surprised we haven't seen him yet.
Yeah, it's very surprising. With him being a 3-star quarterback with a lot of offers, it's surprising not to see him start.
That's going to be a handoff there. That was a little extracurricular there by number 6 there. That's going to be Joe Williams. But instead, third down either way for this Arlington defense. And as I said in pregame, I don't expect many field goals. So if you're Coach Miller, you've got to expect 2-down territory from here.
Yeah, this is big for Arlington. We're in the red zone. They need to get some big stops, and they need to make some big plays.
Whitehaven lining up for the third down. Student section is chanting. They're going wild right now. Let's see what Whitehaven's got to bring.
Arlington getting loud. Let's see if their defense can build off that energy and get a stop right here.
Jace Edwards, the quarterback, lines up under center. He fakes the handoff. He gets outside. He's showing that dual threat ability, but instead Arlington is all over it. Rip Pittman there on the tackle. That's going to set up fourth down. But it looks like Whitehaven is making no attempt to bring in the special teams. This is going to be 4-down territory for the Whitehaven Tigers.
Yeah, this is something we love to see from the Tigers, our defense being ready to go and getting stops, picking up for the lack of offense. Rip Pittman, a guy who has proved himself throughout the season, making big plays, getting big tackles. He had an interception in that Cordova game, and it was just a great interception.
Rip Pittman with 14.5 tackles so far this season. His best game being last game with just shy of 4 other than the Bartlett game, but he's showing out. He's showing he can do well. Again, we've got to trust this defensive line and this linebacking core for what could be looking like a QB sneak on fourth down. And that's going to be a false start there for Whitehaven. What a break there for Arlington. And this is going to set up 4th and 6. A miscommunication there from what came in as a seasoned team. They make their first mistake here.
Yeah, this is something you can't do on offense. You got 1 yard to go, and then you get a penalty like that, and you set your team back, and it just makes you in terrible field position.
It doesn't look like it's going to affect them, though. Interested to see here if they implement a pass or a run. They've run the ball on every single play here so far, but they do have the ability to have a balanced attack.
Yeah, let's see if they can get their passing game going right here.
Quarterback in motion to the right. He's going to look deep, and that's going to be over the head of the wide receivers. Arlington with a fantastic defensive stand there. It's going to be 1st and 10 on the 26. An Arlington defense that has played well against White Station and Cordova, showing that they mean business here as they bring the offense back on the field.
Yeah, great job by Arlington's defense for their linebackers and their defensive ends to get around the edge and put pressure on the quarterback, forcing him to make a terrible throw like that.
Yeah, when you look at it, it looked like the receivers just stopped on that route there. Not necessarily a bad throw, just bad receiver there. Bad receiver play. They assumed they'd be open quicker than that.
Arlington offense picking up. Let's see if they can recover from having not so great first drive, but Arlington has had some bad first drives in the past, and they've had some great second drives recovering from that.
They hand it off to Spears. He is tackled immediately by that Whitehaven front. That's going to set up 2nd and 11 for the Tigers. And Grant Buchanan so far this season has played well as a quarterback, just shy of 400 passing yards with 136 rushing yards with a bunch of touchdowns to go along with that. So if you want to put the ball in Grant Buchanan's hands, you can absolutely do so.
Yeah, Grant is a very versatile quarterback. He can pass the ball as well as run it. He's very fast. He's smaller than your average quarterback, but don't let that fool you. He's fast. He can get on the outside and he can run the ball as well as he can throw it. He's made some tough passes this year, especially with a lot of pressure from the defense.
And speaking of that defensive line, you can just tell that they're huge. They're outmatching the Arlington Tigers on that front. That's why Arlington came out and implemented those screen plays.
Yeah, you see a 5-man rush from Whitehaven. That's on purpose to put a lot of pressure on Arlington.
Buchanan checks it down to Kylan Spears. He's going to be close to the first down marker, asking for a horse collar there. But that's going to be 3rd down and 1 as they are just short, but good play there for Arlington.
Yeah, good job by Arlington. Their passing game has been great, getting it to the outside, get little screen passes, and getting some yards.
Arlington averaging 25 points on the season. They're below that mark at the moment, but that first down is going to help with that. It looked like he got it. I believe he did at least. Both players signaling the opposite direction. And it looked like they're going to give them the first down. The chains are moving. Arlington looking like their offense is sound right now. Let's see what they can do.
Yeah, this is going to be no easy game for Arlington. They're going to have to grind this one out, and it's going to be made by plays, not gaining a lot of yards at a time. Just slow and steady. That's what's going to get them the win.
Buchanan, hard counts there to try to draw that defensive line off sides, but that's not going to work. Looks like a change of play. Kylan Spears in the backfield behind him. Buchanan motion Spears. He's going to drop back to pass. Looked like another quick slant. It looked like it was intended for the tight end there, but instead that's going to be incomplete to Drew Benjamin. Don't know who was actually in coverage there to catch the ball, but that's going to be incomplete. Grant Roberson there on the coverage.
Yeah, Arlington, a team that needs to keep their passing game on point.
Definitely, and if we look at last year's matchup when it comes to Whitehaven and Arlington, Whitehaven came out on top 32-0. John Davis, the impact player for the Arlington Tigers last year, was held to 20 yards on 13 rushes. So obviously, if you look at this game so far, Arlington already doing better on the offensive side than they were last season. That's a shining star in the midst of what, is a 7-0 game right now.
Yeah, that was something that was very uncharacteristic for John Davis. He was a guy that usually got at least 100 yards per game for the Tigers, and being held to 20 was a big statement for the Whitehaven's defense. And for Arlington to already being able to move the chains like that, it's a huge improvement.
It honestly shows that this senior class means business. Last year there weren't many senior starters other than Elvis Simpson for a couple games and then John Davis, but this year you've got all those juniors that were starting now in the game for Arlington.
Yeah, we have a lot of seniors who are hungry to make a run in the playoffs, and that's what we love to see.
Buchanan, again, has Spears in motion. Looked like a false start, and they're going to call it. It was a little late there. Arlington fortunate that they got the false start there because it was recovered there by the defense of Whitehaven on that fumble. But instead, that's going to back up Arlington for 1st and 15.
Yeah, Arlington very lucky that that fumble did not happen and that there was a false start by the defense.
Yeah, Demario Smith there was the one who recovered that fumble. He's on the defensive line. He can play linebacker as well, but you could potentially see him lining up all over the field. He's a Swiss Army knife for this team, so we're going to call his name a lot on defense, but his name is on offense a lot as well. Buchanan drops back, looks at Leap Trot, didn't really have another option. He looks to get outside and is swarmed there by the defense. That's going to be Muhammadu Diarra, again, the Alcorn State commit.
Yeah, you see that guy on both sides of the ball. As you just said, he's a Swiss Army knife, and you've already seen that tonight with already over 100 all-purpose yards and a couple tackles to go along with that. And that is he's definitely going to be Whitehaven's standout player for tonight.
2nd and 17 for Arlington. Looked like they were going to pass there, but just didn't read that well on Buchanan's part. Watching Leap Trot the whole way. But we'll see what they've got here. 2nd and 17 as we see the starting lineup here. As we said, most of them, if not all of them, are seniors. Buchanan drops back. He reads the whole field. That's going to be a halfback screen pass. He was getting rushed very hard there. Probably led to that miscommunication with Hare. Either way, that would have been a good 10 yards there on that play if that was a connection.
Yeah, something Arlington needs to do is that Whitehaven's going to be putting pressure on all night, and they need to get used to that, and they need to find a way to get around that. And that's something that we've seen that Arlington has been able to do a good job of this season as the game goes on. So let's see if they can make any improvements there.
And on that halfback screen pass, the linemen are supposed to hit and hold and then run. It looked like they just kind of ran there, leaving Buchanan all by himself, isolated in the backfield. Tigers drop back. Buchanan looks to throw. He's just going to run instead. Could have been a design run. He looks to go to the sideline and get outside. He almost makes it back to the line of scrimmage, but that's going to be 4th down and 10. The Tigers looking to punt here as they bring out the punt team. Let's see if they can give Whitehaven not good field position as they are backed up in their own territory.
Yeah, you've seen the athleticism of the Whitehaven defense so far. They are very athletic. They are very fast. They get on the outside to stop the passing game and the run game at the same time. They're everywhere on the field, and they've come out explosive.
Arlington looking to punt. That's going to be number 32, Douglas Salatel. He fumbles the ball. He ends up somehow giving it away. Honestly, that may have turned for the best there because Salatel was probably going to rush that punt, but instead he had time and boots it down to the 25-yard line, setting up where a touchback would be on a regular kickoff.
Yeah, that is by far one of the best punts we've seen from Salatel all season, and it off a dropped snap, and that is good. That sets up Whitehaven bad field position and Arlington's defense. If they can get a stop early and they can turn the ball over, then Arlington can make a big play.
Batts and Carter Wood in the backfield here for the Arlington Tigers looking to make something happen. These are the two guys that you're going to want to watch for if you are not a fan of either's teams. Let's see Jordan Batts and Carter's name get called.
Yeah, they're two guys who have been big on the defense, as well as Rip Pittman.
Speaking of Jordan Batts in the backfield there, he had it wrapped up the whole way. He went nowhere. Jordan Batts in coverage there. That was a good play there.
Yeah, Jordan Batts, who has led the team in tackles so far this season. He's a guy that we saw before the game who meant business. He wasn't looking at the other team. He was focused on the game. He's just ready to play, and he's coming out explosive, and he's ready to play.
And that was Ahmad Miller there, the one with two explosive plays that he just brought down. Great play there again.
Yeah, Jordan, a guy who's one of by far Arlington's most athletic players. He's guarding Whitehaven's one of their better players.
Whitehaven drops back to pass. He gets leveled right there on the throw, but instead, oh my goodness, that tight end is huge. That's going to be Tyshawn Tate there. And Tyshawn Tate stands at 6'5". We had to mention this, 6'5", 215. I mean, he's practically Luke, just 50 pounds heavier, and he is very athletic with that raw athletic ability. He's able to get the first down for Whitehaven.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's going to be hard to take down. He's going to be hard to stop. With his size, he's a fast guy. He's very versatile. He blocks good as well. He just plays his role, and he plays it fantastically.
He also plays to the whistle there, not letting anything take him down. Yards after contact was about 5 there. Looked like what was somewhat chaotic draw play, but instead he's going to get down to the 43. That's going to be Ahmad Miller. If you're Arlington, try to get Batts in coverage with Ahmad Miller every time, because the one time they've matched up, Batts won that.
Yeah, Ahmad Miller is a very fast guy. He saw the pocket and he went straight through it, and it looked like he had a speed boost or something. He went so fast through it, and thank goodness the Arlington safeties wrapped him up.
And if he finds a way to get around Brandon Moore there in coverage, he could have been gone for that touchdown. He hands it off again to Miller. Ethan Smith back there. And instead, that's going to be Carter Wood. It looked like he fumbled the ball, but it was out of bounds. Good tackle there by Wood.
Yeah, like we mentioned earlier, Carter Wood's a big defensive contributor. He's the guy who's always ready to play.
Carter Wood with good stats on the season. Total, he's got 14, which on paper doesn't sound fantastic, but when you look at the impact he has, most likely these offenses are trying to avoid him because of the impact he can have.
Oh, yeah, for sure. You see that teams' offensives try to stay away from Wood because he's a guy who will make defensive stops.
That's going to be a run play. I don't know what happened, but he's in the backfield there. Ethan Smith was the one who ultimately brought him down, but that miscommunication puts Whitehaven at 3rd and 12 in similar position to where they were last time. They ended up getting the first down last time, but let's see what they've got here for Arlington.
Yeah, it looked like Ahmad Miller slipped and almost fumbled the ball or something happened. Miscommunication by Whitehaven's offense.
It looked like he barely even had possession of that. If Smith goes in a little bit faster, we could have seen that be a fumble there, but either way, good play there for Arlington.
And Arlington's defense has done a great job this quarter, and it's something that we love to see, and that's something that they need to do. When the offensive isn't necessarily producing, they need to make stops, and that's what they've done the past 3 drives.
Flag on the field. It's going to set up 3rd and 17 for Whitehaven. Whitehaven continues to bail out the Arlington Tiger defense, but 3rd and 17 means they will have to incorporate a pass. Let's see if they can get it to their big guy, Tyshawn Tate.
Whitehaven started off big with that touchdown that we saw, but they're starting to slow down, and Arlington needs to improve off of that, and they can get a touchdown off of that.
3 wide receiver set for quarterback Jace Edwards. Jace Edwards is accurate with an on-point arm, but he has the ability to escape the pocket. Let's see what he can do here. He escapes the pocket, but that's a fumble right there. That's going to be on the ground, recovered by Grant Roberson. Arlington with fantastic field position at the 30-yard line. You could not ask for a better play if you're an Arlington fan, as the Tigers offense will set up shop at the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that is something we love to see by the Arlington defense. Like they said, like we've said before, they have been the team to come out explosive, and right there we see a turnover. That, like we mentioned in the pregame, the team that forces the most turnovers will probably win this game. And right now Arlington is up 1 turnover, and let's see if their offense can profit off of that.
Ethan Smither was the one who caused that fumble, 5'11", 207 senior. Roberson, the junior, was the one to recover that. What a play there for Arlington as they are at the 30-yard line. Let's see what they can do here. They've got all the momentum in the world after that early kick return touchdown. Buchanan back to pass with 2 running back set. He does throw the ball, but it looked like it's going to be a flag, probably on the Arlington Tigers. That's going to be a false start there for the Tigers. After Whitehaven's setback to lead to that 3rd and 17, Arlington makes the exact same mistake, giving them a 1st and 15 look at the 35.
Yeah, that is something both offenses have struggled doing so far, as they've been making some mistakes and they've been getting flags, and that's something they can't do in a game like this.
A little bit of confusion there on the field, but they figure all of it out. Looking like the same formation for the Tigers. Whitehaven showing blitz, and they do. They're going to wrap up Jackson Hare early on that one. They read that one the whole way through. It's going to set up 2nd and 14 for the Tigers.
Yeah, we see Arlington's defense right now on the sideline. They're getting hyped, they're getting ready, and they're ready to come back out, make some stops.
And that's going to be the end of the first quarter. Arlington has good field position, but it is still 7-0 at Whitehaven. We will see you on the other side.
You know, a lot of people say when you're going somewhere, you don't want to look back. But I beg to differ. I can't lie and say it was easy. I looked at everything in a different light. I realized it started with me going back and getting my high school diploma.
We are back now at Arlington High School. This is going to be your play of the quarter here. Forget that kick return touchdown. What a defensive play here by Ethan Smith, as he's able to bring down the quarterback there, and Grant Roberson with the return and fumble recovery. That was a big play for this Arlington defense as the offense lines up at the 35, 2nd and 15. We are back on AHS Tiger Life. My name is Jake Stoop alongside Luke McBride. We've got you covered here for the second quarter and the rest of the game. They roll a shovel pass to Jackson Hare. It looked like if they made the original handoff to Spears, that would have worked, but instead that's going to be a loss of yardage there. 3rd down, and it looks like 17 again for the Arlington Tigers.
Yeah, we've seen Whitehaven's defensive line. They've been great about getting through the middle and getting stops on the offense. They find the running back and they get that tackle.
Miller communicating to Buchanan what he wants to happen here. You've got to incorporate a pass at this point, unless you're trying to get in field position for a kick, but I assume they will pass it here.
Coach Miller's done a great job from the Tigers, rebounding from last season where the Tigers didn't have very much success.
Buchanan rolls out. They're going to act like it's a fumble, but it's not. Buchanan did throw a forward pass there, but if you're an Arlington fan, that's got to stink. They've got to punt the ball yet again, 4th and 19 from the Whitehaven 40. That's a letdown if you're an Arlington Tiger.
Yeah, that was a very scary play, because if that was a fumble, that would be terrible, because Whitehaven could have picked that up, returned it. They're in great position to do that, and that's good for the Arlington Tigers. That did not happen, but it's also terrible that we did not get a score on this drive.
Miller contemplated the 4th down and go for it, but instead it's going to be Salatel putting it in his hands to give good field position for the Arlington Tigers. He punts it out of bounds early. That's going to settle around the 15-yard line, about the exact same field position they had last time for Whitehaven, looking to set up shop at the 15.
Let's see if the Arlington Tigers defense can come out like they came out the last couple of drives with some fire in their eyes and ready to get some big stops.
And in the favor of the Arlington Tigers, this has been a defensive battle so far. If Arlington can continue to assert their will on the defensive side, as long as the offense starts to show some light, we can see this being a close game down to the wire. But after that first play from scrimmage, that is not what I expected, to be honest with you.
Yeah. The Arlington's defense has been the one keeping them alive in this game. They've been getting the stops that they've been needing to get, and their offense just have been lagging behind. But their offense has done a great job about recovering, and so let's see if they can do this later.
Ethan Smith again in the backfield, unable to wrap him up, but who else but Rip Pittman is going to get there? Everybody from that Arlington defensive line was in the backfield trying to get a stop, and Arlington again is going to give Whitehaven bad field position on this offensive possession. It's going to be 2nd and 16.
Yeah, Rip Pittman's had a fantastic season so far for just a junior. He's had 14.5 tackles and also 1 interception to go along with that. He's had a great season so far.
And Whitehaven 0-3 in district play so far in the same district as Arlington. This is a huge game because if Arlington can grab this win, Bartlett and Germantown have tough contests coming up. So either team needs a win desperately right now. And that's going to be a throw. He catches on that left sideline. That's going to be number 13, Kenneth Cochran. He came in as a potential quarterback candidate, but you're seeing here the athletes that Whitehaven has can line up all over the field.
Yeah, something Whitehaven has a lot of is athleticism. You see all their guys, they're very fast, they're very strong, and they're very explosive, and that's what a lot of football teams need, and Whitehaven has plenty of it.
Quarterback Edwards is looking to throw. He throws a quick pass. That's going to be a quick slant to the same guy. He absolutely stiff arms Brady Garlock, getting down to the 47. If you're Whitehaven, you've got to love that. Starting out at 2nd and 16, able through 2 downs, able to make it to midfield.
Yeah, Kenneth Cochran, he's a huge guy. And he's very fast as well. He got to the middle of the field. He got that huge stiff arm, and he trucks a guy. But thank goodness Arlington wraps him up.
Cochran, not necessarily the biggest guy in pounds, weighs 175. But he asserts his will there on that offensive catch. Edwards back to pass. He throws it to the left side screen pass, and he's going to get down to the 38. Whitehaven looking to move fast and move quick as they are throwing those same passes that Arlington came out throwing.
Yeah, Whitehaven's passing game is starting off, is getting going. They start off very slow with the pass game, relying on the run game heavily, but now they're utilizing the pass game, and it's working so far.
Again, why not throw another one? Arlington's all over it, though, only allowing 4 yards on that catch.
Yeah, they're using the screenplay just like Arlington has used a lot in the past this game, and it looks like they picked up a few yards off of it.
Again, to talk about this district play, Arlington coming in 2-1, 3-game win streak, longest since 2020 when Arlington lost to Carterville in the regional playoffs. You've got Edwards there. He's going to throw it. He's going to run it to Ahmad. He is down just short of the yard to gain. That's going to be, again, Ahmad there on the run. And this Arlington defense, along with Carter Wood, made that stop. They don't look like they're fatigued, even though they've been on the field for a lot of time.
Yeah. Arlington has surprised a lot of people this season. A lot of people put them at 1 or 2 wins, but so far they have 4. And they're on this 3-game winning streak, and they're looking to continue that win streak. And their defense has really come out and wanting to keep that win streak alive.
Whitehaven trying to get Arlington to jump off side so they get the 1st and 10, but instead they change the play and draw up a real one. That's going to be a handoff to Gardner. He barely makes it past the yard to gain. I lied. That's not Gardner. That's Roland Sweeten. What a name there for the 5'10 senior. And it looks like we've called the name of Whitehaven offensive players about 5 or 6 different guys. And that is something you love to see. The depth in the Whitehaven Tigers is really showing out against this defense.
It really is. And like I said before, they have a lot of athleticism. And it's just being shown that their depth has it too. That they can pull guys off the bench that have just as much athleticism as their starters. And that is something that is very good for a team because if a guy needs to come out with a quick breather, they can do that, and their offense won't skip a beat.
That's going to be the third false start here for Whitehaven. If you're going to have it on any down, though, that's going to be the one to do it. 1st and 15 from Arlington's 31-yard line. They are in Arlington territory looking to score. This is the best their offensive has played since that special teams touchdown.
Yeah, Whitehaven offense has been getting going. They started off slowly after that kick return, but they're starting off, and their pass game is looking a lot better than it was, and they're relying more heavily on that than the run game right now.
3 wide receiver set. It's going to be Edwards. It's an option route there. He decides to hold it. Rather than having a fumble there, he decides to fall on it, setting up 2nd and 14.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those attempted QB sneaks, but it always seems to fail, either the quarterback slipping or the offensive lineman missing his block, and he just gets wrapped up by the defense.
It looks like he's got a lot of room, but Edwards is taking a little bit too long on making those decisions. If he were to choose one or the other, that would have been a gain of at least 5 yards there.
Yeah, it looks like he's sticking with the ball too long in his hand.
Wow, back to pass. What a move there. That's going to be number 80 on the catch. Oh, my goodness, Jordan Batts having none of it. He tried to body slam him like they did to Travis Kelce in that Chargers-Chiefs game. If you know, you know, but he was able to put that corner on skates. That's going to be Dermott Green. Dermott Green having that amazing pick 6 in the Overton game, but there was put on the ground by Jaden Woody, the freshman wide receiver.
Yeah, like we said, and your key player of the game, Jordan Batts, he's a guy that has been a leader of this defense. As we saw in the pregame, he was a captain of the team, and he's come out for Arlington all season, ready to go, ready to play, and he's stepping up in this game.
3rd and 1. They hand it to Ahmad. He's got wide open room on the left side. He runs through everybody. That's going to be a touchdown there for the Whitehaven Tigers. Again, Ahmad Miller, the senior running back, asserting his will in all facets of the game. The special teams, kick return touchdown, the big run on the first play of scrimmage for the offense, and he runs in for the score there to make it 13-0 Whitehaven.
Yeah, don't forget about his defense either, Jake. He's been stepping up huge on defense as well, and he's their, like you said, their Swiss Army knife. It's looked like he's been their biggest player this game. And he reminds me a lot of last year's John Davis. He's fast, he finds the pockets, and he's strong as well. He doesn't get wrapped up easily, and Arlington needs to find a way to stop that.
The kick's going to be good there for 84. Don't have his number, but either way, he deserves to be recognized as he gets to 14-0 for Whitehaven. And we talked about this a little bit. We mentioned it, how this Arlington offense is capable of it, but in order for this defense to be able to be reassured and reset every single possession, the Arlington Tigers must stay on the field for a longer duration of time when they have the ball.
Yeah, their defense, Arlington's defense, is going to obviously get tired if their offense can't stay on the field longer than what they have been staying on the field. And Grant Buchanan, he's had some good looks throughout the game. He's had some good passes, but let's see if he can continue doing it for a whole drive and not just a couple first downs.
That would be ideal if you're an Arlington fan. But this Whitehaven offense has been very impressive. Obviously, Ahmad Miller had a hole there. The offensive line is doing their part just as much as anybody else is on the field right now. Miller able to run through 3 guys on the touchdown, but this offensive line is doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, that's something that's a big part of football is the offensive line. If a team has a good offensive line, then their quarterback can sit back in the back longer. They can look for more open guys. The plays can be executed a lot better, and that you just see bigger plays be made off of teams that have great offensive lines.
Jeffrey McCarter there caught it. Looks like they're going to back him up, though. They ran a little bit past that kicking line before they should have, and that's going to put them at the 30. And if you're McCarter, look to have a huge run here, probably going to catch it around the 25-yard line, and he's been electric when he's been able to be back there and return the ball.
Yeah, I think that false start is on part of Whitehaven's just ready to go. They're just ready to get some tackles. They're ready to stop Arlington, and we've seen that so far. They're a team that has had some losses, but they're looking to rebound off of that.
And Whitehaven looking to kick it off here as we have 5 minutes and 2 seconds left in this half. Better field position than we assumed. Actually lands it right at the 25-yard line. But rather than getting a big return, Jeffrey McCarter's just going to hold it, be like a sitting duck there. But either way, they're at the 25-yard line, 75 yards to go with 5 minutes left in this quarter. Arlington needs to have a touchdown here because if you remember right, they kicked off the ball at the beginning of the first half. So if they were to score here and get the ball back in the second half, that would do absolute astronomical things for this offense.
Yeah, that's something Arlington needs to do, and they have enough time on the clock to do it. They haven't been advancing fast, but that's good because they can run some time off the clock to where Whitehaven can't get back on the ball, back on offense, but Arlington can look to score. And like I said earlier, Arlington's going to have to grind it out. They're going to have to get those first downs, and they're going to have to move the ball slowly.
Spears runs the ball ahead. Decent job by the offensive line, but they were not able to move forward, leading to a run play of only 1 yard to gain there. Good job by Spears, though, able to get a couple extra yards after contact.
Yeah, Spears is a strong running back. He gets a lot of yards after contact. Even if he's wrapped up, he continues to push the ball, and that's something we love to see.
And Arlington averaging 25 points on the season, as I previously mentioned. They are not near to that mark there, but they've got 4.5 minutes to make a dent in it.
Yeah, for sure. Arlington's offense is looking to get some big plays right here.
Buchanan drops back to pass. Again, a failed screen pass. Was that picked off? I can't tell from here.
I think it was dropped.
It looked like it was dropped, but, I mean, it was right in the breadbasket there for the Whitehaven defense. If you're Whitehaven right now, you are scratching your head, and you have 4 minutes left on this clock to score. That would have potentially set up a 21-0 lead for Whitehaven going into halftime.
Yeah, that would have been something huge for Whitehaven. They're in great field positions. That would have put them right at the 25-yard line, and they could have gotten a quick score, and that would have been great for them. But lucky for Arlington, that did not happen, and their offensive still has the ball, and they need to get some energy in their offense.
With good field position, too, to be honest with you. Spears with that 4-yard run could be the deciding factor, and this is a first down. But no, that defensive line is going to stand up. Number 52, that's going to be Tavarius Elliott there, who tips the ball. That was a good block there, and Coach Miller has his offense on the field right now. Oh, but he decides he is upset. He wants this offense to have success, but right now Whitehaven is shutting it down, and they're going to have to punt here.
And you cannot blame the unsuccessful drive on Buchanan right there. I think that was a lot on part of the offensive line. They're letting the defensive line from Whitehaven, they're just tearing our offensive line up, and that is something that just really can't happen because Buchanan has no protection, and he's being forced to make quick decisions, and that is something that just really can't happen.
Salatel with the fantastic punt. Boots it to the 28-yard line, giving Whitehaven similar field position to the pass, and they have proven that they can move the ball quickly, so don't be surprised if they get out and running.
Yeah, Arlington's defense, Whitehaven has 4 minutes left to score, but Arlington's defense hopefully will still have the fire that they've had the whole game and be able to make a stop.
They're going to be set up after they discuss it at the 38-yard line. Let's see what they have here. They've got just shy of 4 minutes to do it. We'll see what they decide to do here. I want to talk about Ahmad Miller for a second here. He has shown off, and he's got an offer from Samford and interest from a lot of other schools, top-tier schools like Virginia. So he is a really good impact player, and he's showing it here against, a defense in Arlington that has not seen much college-level talent yet, at least in the last 3 games that they've played. So this is definitely new, but honestly, I would say that Arlington's handled it pretty well in this first half.
Yeah, Arlington's defense has done a great job of stopping him. Even though he's found some success, and he's gone on the outside and had big plays, Arlington, for the most part, stops him, like you see right there.
Yeah, speaking of stepping up, Grant Roberson again, he's talking to that Whitehaven sideline, and the way he's played, why not? He has had a fantastic game so far as they lose another 5 yards on that run play.
Yeah, you could see him on the sideline after he picked up that fumble. He's ready to go. He has the fire in him. He's talking. He's ready to go. He's getting that defense hyped up, and that's something that we need from Arlington.
3 minutes. Clock ticking down. They're about 3:22 right now. And Whitehaven choosing to elect to save some time. They've got all 3 timeouts, so they can afford to be conservative. But you've got to question that as Miller, oh my goodness, stiffs arms another guy to the ground. Carter Wood runs from the line of scrimmage, able to tackle him at the 40-yard line. They're moving it right now in a situation with 3 minutes left where you would assume they would pass more. They're choosing to elect to run the ball.
Yeah, Miller was almost wrapped up at the line of scrimmage on that play, but he breaks the tackle and then he stiff arms another defender and he hits that sprint and he trucks another guy and he gets that first down. And that's something you've seen all game from him. He uses his speed and his strength to get first downs.
Clock is ticking, 2:40 left. They blitz here. They've got it wrapped up from the beginning. Who else? Grant Roberson and Ethan Smith having none of it. The two guys that were involved on that fumble play get in the backfield. I mean, it looked like both of them weren't even touched there. I don't know what that Whitehaven offensive line was thinking. Maybe they were trying to set up a screen pass and were too late to the assignments, but wow, that's going to be another loss on first down.
Yeah, Grant Roberson and Ethan Smith, two guys that have been leading the Arlington defense tonight alongside Carter Wood and Jordan Batts. Those are your four biggest defensive players, and they've been making the biggest impact. And there's what's keeping the Tigers alive right now.
Shy of 2 minutes here. No 2-minute warning for you NFL fans, so that's going to hurt them. Edwards is absolutely annihilated by who else but Smith. Again, doing the iconic celebration, saying no, sir. And Whitehaven is going to be forced to take a timeout here as they are setting up at 3rd and 20. Oh, my goodness. Arlington's defense is all over that one. And they've only allowed 7 points on this game, but Ethan Smith is showing why he deserves to be here in this game.
Yeah, Ethan Smith has had a fantastic game so far. And throughout the season, he's played great. He's been one of the Arlington's leaders in sacks and in tackles. And you're seeing tonight that he's stepping up tonight big time. And that's something we love to see. And you just see him on the sideline right now, and he's hyped. He's getting the defense going. And Arlington's just been playing great.
And we are at a timeout here, so we will see you back in a minute with we have 150.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
I don't know what just happened. They're moving the chains. It looks like they're going to give the ball right to Arlington. I don't know what that rule is. Maybe that's specific to high school football if you have a penalty on a punt, but that's going to give them field position right where Whitehaven's first down to go marker was. They're going to be right at the 34.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened either. It looked like Coach Miller declined the penalty or something like that on the sideline, and Arlington has the ball now, and that's perfect. They're in great field position. There's a minute 40 left up on the clock, and Arlington's looking to score.
And again, if Arlington plays through that whistle, they could potentially have way better field position. Buchanan's back to pass. He dodges the pressure. He's going to take it himself, electing to go outside. That's going to be the best run of the night there for Buchanan, as well as getting out of bounds to stop the clock. 2nd and 1 here.
Big run by Buchanan. We saw his speed right there on that play. He got to the outside. He saw the open field, and he took that, and he ran. He did not care about that defense. He saw him coming, but he kept running, and that's something we like to see, a man playing with no fear.
Good pocket awareness there from Buchanan. He's going to drop the ball and hand it off to Jackson Hare in a misdirection play. Jackson's going to get the first down there to set up 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. But that last play for Grant Buchanan, a similar play happened 2 weeks ago against White Station, a blindside hit for Buchanan where he fumbled the ball. He's obviously learned from that, and instead of allowing that to happen again, he dodges the pressure, gets to the outside, and then Hare sets up that first down.
Yeah, a little bit of a trick play right there. Looks like he handed it in between Hare's legs, and it confused the defense just enough to get that first down.
Buchanan hands it off to Spears. Arlington electing with 2 timeouts to play it a little bit conservative. Don't necessarily understand that. The clock is ticking with 55 seconds left. They better hurry quick to the line because at this point we have no idea how much time they're going to need.
Yeah, Arlington has been relying on their run game so far this drive. Let's see if they get their pass game going.
Buchanan dropped a pass. He eyed it the whole way. He was wide open. Jackson Hare. No, that's not going to be Jackson Hare. That's going to be Jacob Tidwell, the tight end. He was wide open on that play. Man, if he was just a little bit faster or the throw was a little bit on target, this would be a 1-score game here. Oh, my goodness, that was a failed opportunity there for Arlington. But either way, after that play, you know that it's possible. It's going to be 3rd and 6 here for Arlington.
Oh, it's 100% possible, Jake, and that's something that we need, Arlington needs right now, is a big offensive play, maybe getting back in the pocket and getting a pass.
Buchanan looks to pass. He's got Leaptrot on the left sideline. Leaptrot just kind of stalls and doesn't get out of bounds. That's going to be at the 16-yard line. Getting back to where they were at that line of scrimmage, Arlington is going to be forced to take a timeout.
Yeah, 29 seconds left on the clock. Arlington doesn't have too much time left. Maybe enough for maybe 2, maybe 3 plays at most. And Arlington needs to get a quick score. They need to get get around that defense and get that score.
And Mohamedou Diarra, again, the 3rd time we've called his name tonight, levels Cole Leaptrot there at the 15-yard line. And when you look at this defense, there are a lot of guys that are just so smart. They've got wisdom on that defensive side. Diarra barely even moved on that play, just waited for Leaptrot to come to him because he had that IQ and absolutely destroys him there on that play.
Yeah, Whitehaven's defense is very patient, watching Arlington, ready to pounce at any moment, and they do on that play right there, and they come up with a big stop.
It looked like David Williams there is frustrated. He's walking on that sideline. He either aggravated an injury or got kicked out of the game for something. I don't know what it was, but he is off the field. He is probably just upset that this offense was unfortunately not able to get in the end zone. But Ethan Ford is lining up to kick this field goal. Ford lines it up. That one is good, giving the Arlington Tigers the first points of the game. Bobbled snap there for the holder, Jackson Lyons, but he is able to resettle there and put it right back for Ford, able to get points on the board for the Arlington Tigers.
Something we didn't expect to see was any field goals in this game. We thought the teams would be going for a lot, but this is something Arlington was probably smart to do on this play, was to kick a field goal, not risk anything, getting the points on the board that they need. And it shows that Arlington can score in this ball game, something that they've been shut out, and it's proved that it's not going to be a shutout, and Arlington's definitely still in this game, and they can get up the field. And that's something Arlington has to come alive with in the second half, is that they can get up the field and they can get past the Whitehaven's defense.
And it's still going to be a 2-possession game here for Arlington unless they were to score a touchdown, 2-point conversion, and kick another field goal. But most likely what is going to be necessary is 2 more touchdowns to take this lead. And honestly, if you're an Arlington fan, I know it's an 11-point game right now, but to have the first play of scrimmage be a kick return touchdown and only give up 7 more points in the entire rest of the half, that's an absolute win.
Yeah, really, Arlington's defense only gave up 1 touchdown, which is big. That only giving up 1 touchdown in a half is fantastic, and that means that we're going to keep them off the board.
Ford with the squib kick. That is touched. Arlington's special teams was jogging there. I don't know why that squib kick is utilized in order to get them to mishandle the kick, but instead Whitehaven has the ball just shy of the 30-yard line. That's going to give them not great field position as they have 20 seconds to score the ball.
I think that was very smart by Arlington special teams, was to not kick it deep and give it to those kick returners, because we've seen that they've been able to get big plays off the kick returns, and that's something Arlington did a great job of, was kicking that squib and getting their defense on it really quick.
Last year, Whitehaven losing their starting quarterback, Marcarius Johnson. Obviously, you know, Jace Edwards has played well, but they can be missing Johnson right now. Last year going 6-5. This year at the moment is going to be 2-4. But we'll see what happens here. Another flag thrown on the field. Again, Whitehaven just unsettled in every facet of the game since they scored that touchdown.
Yeah, Whitehaven's had 4 or 5 flags so far this game, and that's something that they can't do. They're looking to get that district win, but making mistakes like that cannot happen.
They throw a screen pass to the outside. Jackson Hare in coverage there, along with Carter Wood. The two impact linebacking seniors are able to bring him down. Whitehaven's not going to call a timeout, and that is going to end the half. Whitehaven has the lead 14-3 over the Arlington Tigers. Both teams have played a defensive battle so far, but we're going to toss the break. We'll see you on the other side for the halftime report.
You know, a lot of people.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
There we go.
Hello, hello. We are here live in the broadcast booth. We're sitting down, and a lot of you guys are used to seeing Gabriel Torres on the field. Recent decision that he had to make was to take a step away from the football field. In 2 weeks, scored 5 touchdowns. Over the whole season, scored 6. Was really the Swiss Army knife on the offense. We just want to kind of talk to you today, see your point of view, see your mindset. So I know a lot of people don't know about this. This was not a public announcement, not publicized, more word of mouth. And honestly, what comes with word of mouth is a lot of mixed communication. There's a lot of speculation about things. So we just want to talk to you today. Why, in your view, did you make this decision?
I had to think long term. That was definitely the most important thing. At the end of the day, I'm trying to save as much money as I can. But, the big picture really is track. As far, I feel like I have a better chance at getting a much bigger scholarship in track than I do in football, honestly. And I've only had, I think what a lot of people don't realize is that I've only had one healthy year of track. I had my freshman year taken away because of COVID. I had my junior year taken away because I got hurt playing football. So I've only had one good year, and it was my sophomore year. And I put up some, what I feel like are good numbers for a sophomore. And honestly, I have the same passion that I have for football I have for track. So I feel like it's unfair for myself because I want to see how far I can take this season, without any obstacles in the way. I want to see how far I can make it.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, track being the main reason. So I know a lot of people are wondering this, and that's why I'm asking, why wait until midway through the season to make this decision to step away?
Yeah. Well, honestly, talking to more universities, it's getting more serious. Mm-hmm. And kind of as the football season continued on, I realized that I need to hit these certain goals. They expect certain times out of me, and I have to hit those times. Obviously it sucked, having to go midway through the year, but I feel like at the end of the day, it was the best decision for the long term.
Yeah, so speaking of the long term, you mentioned some goals. What are those goals that you have to set in track that would take you away from what seemed to be a really successful football season that you had going?
Yeah. Honestly, right now, I'm trying to hit at least a 10.5 in the 100. My 200, I'm not focused on too much. I know that the 100 is really my strong suit. I'm trying to hit a 10.5. That's what the really big universities, that's what everybody's looking for right now. So I feel like if I can hit that, and if I can go wherever I want, I feel like that's the best case scenario.
Yeah, obviously a full ride scholarship to do track would be amazing. Mm-hmm. I think you had a 10.77 freshman year. Is that right?
Yeah, sophomore year. Yeah.
So you've been showing out on the track field or the track. The track. But I want to ask you this question, and this is, for the football teams in. Are there any hard feelings? Because obviously this came out of nowhere, so what was your decision with that?
No, none at all. Those are my brothers down there, When I first came here, they were the guys that introduced me, that made me feel welcomed. I still love every single one of them, That's why I'm coming out here every Friday night trying to do the best I can to support them.
Yeah, I've seen him at away games. I've seen him at home games. He's coming out to support. This is no hard feelings at all. This is him making the best decision for himself. And speaking of that decision, are there any schools that are of interest of you right now that you've contacted and that you're talking to?
The biggest school right now is UT Martin. Honestly, it's pretty high on my list. They're a very close school, very good school. Obviously, I've been in contact with the head track coach. So, that's the biggest one apart from the little D3 and NIA schools.
Yeah, so what is the biggest thing you're going to miss from the field? What is that thing that you see on the football field? You're watching the action every week, as you just mentioned. What is that one thing that you just hate at not being able to be out there for?
It's my friends. They made football the most fun part. They really did. And I hate it because, seeing them out there, I want to be out there with them, because I've been playing football with them for the past since 8th grade, and we've been coming up waiting for this. And sadly with how, things turned out over the years, it sucks that I had to go out like that. But it was about my friends.
Yeah. I know that's hard for you specifically, and obviously making the best decision is not always easy. You know, especially as, you know, we're seniors, we've got a lot of college decisions coming up. We got a lot of family decisions coming up. We got to see what really we prioritize. And that's a decision that a lot of people unfortunately have to make. You've been electric on the football field, man. It's been fun to watch you.
Thank you.
You've been a fun player to call for. 6 touchdowns on the year, which is pretty crazy to call for. A lot of special teams action as well. So we are midway through the halftime report. We are going to toss the break, and we'll see you on the other side.
It's here at Arlington Community Schools,
where we thrive on creativity. We take the scattered pieces
to build something great.
We work together to challenge ourselves
and each other, defining who we are and who we want to be.
We rely on technology to learn where we came from,
to see where we're going. We adapt
because we know there's a world of opportunity for all.
We thrive under pressure
to make our future great.
We are Arlington.
Think,
create,
achieve.
Please welcome the Arlington High School Marching Band. Drum majors Cameron Allen, Jared Liu, and Haley Simpson. It's your band ready. Arlington High School Tiger Band, you may now enter the field in exhibition.
What's up, guys? Welcome back. We hope you enjoyed those band performances as they are preparing for what could be competitions coming soon. But we've got to talk about this first half. It was filled with a lot of defensive prowess as we saw both teams really struggle on the offensive end. So looking forward to the second half. Let's hope for some more points on the board.
Yeah, as we've seen, this has been definitely a defensive game, and that's what we love to see, a game that's just full of grit and grind, and that's what we've seen so far. Whitehaven, they've been using their athleticism, but Arlington, they've been using a lot of heart out there. You see guys like Ethan Smith, Grant Roberson, Jordan Batts, and Carter Wood. They've been the defensive monsters. They've been the guys that have been getting the stops, and they're the guys that have been making the plays.
Yeah, they've been the anchors on the defensive side for sure, and when things seem like they're going wrong, things seem like Whitehaven is on a run, then they come out of nowhere and make a big play, and that is what you want. If Whitehaven can't really establish a momentum, if you're an Arlington fan, that's exactly what you want to see from your two senior linebackers.
Yeah, Arlington's defense has only really let up 7 points on the board, even though Whitehaven has 14. 7 of those Whitehaven's points was from the special teams, but that's a good thing for Arlington. Last year, they did way worse than that. Arlington has stepped up their game big time compared to last year. Last year, I think we were down already by 3 touchdowns at halftime. Yeah. But Arlington's only down by, less than 2.
Yeah, they're down 11 points right now. Last year's contest, they lost 32-0 at Whitehaven, so you can say the crowd has affected it. You can say they're making an impact here, but obviously I think the talent that we're seeing on the field trumps last year, and they're really showing that they mean business out here. The offense, though, we go into that locker room not with many successful drives, their best drive getting to around midfield. So you already know that Coach Miller and Coach Lloyd, the coach and offensive coordinator, are in there trying to come up with new schemes and new tendencies that they can apply in order to get some points on the board for Arlington. Because at this point, you're down 2 touchdowns. You have to get points on the board and move the ball if you're going to win this game.
Yeah, Arlington's offense, they started off a little bit strong with their passing game, but it slowed down tremendously. And let's see if they can keep that up going into this third quarter.
Definitely so. We got the second half next.
It's here at Arlington Community Schools,
where we thrive on creativity. We take the scattered pieces
to build something great.
We work together to challenge ourselves
and each other, defining who we are and who we want to be.
We rely on technology to learn where we came from,
to see where we're going. We adapt
because we know there's a world of opportunity for all.
We thrive under pressure
to make our future great.
We are Arlington.
Think, create,
achieve.
My graduation was something I will never forget. People like you and me sometimes may have doubts in yourself, but I feel that everything's possible.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
We've got a minute and 20 seconds left in this halftime report here. Arlington, again, as we've said, averaged 25 points a game. Here they've only got 3. They need 22, which is 3 touchdowns in order to match that. But Whitehaven as well, they only averaged 25 points. So they are well above where they should be at this point in the game. Obviously, they've played pretty tough competition, though, thus far.
Yeah, it's been a great game so far. Both teams being heavy on the defense, not so much on the offense. But let's see, coming out of halftime, let's see if their offensive drew a game plan together and let's see if we can see some more score on the board.
Whitehaven currently ranked at 103 in the state. Arlington ranked at 129. So despite the record differences, Arlington is trailing Whitehaven in the state rankings. But if this can be a win for Arlington, they would honestly probably move into the top 100 with a 5-2 record, sitting inside the top 4 in the district.
Yeah, that is something that Arlington needs, is a big win like this against Whitehaven to prove that they deserve to be in the top 100. And it's something that they need to prove to their district, that they can get big and solid wins.
Again, last year, Arlington going 2-8, Whitehaven going 6-5. And they lost a game in district playoff play. Whitehaven was pretty solid last year. Arlington showing that they mean business as they are going to make this a close game, as they will receive in the second half.
Yeah, this is something that's very uncharacteristic of Whitehaven, is to start off with such a slow start and start off with a record like this. They used to be nationally ranked, and that's something that they're definitely not this year, that they can not even get wins in their own district, but they're looking to get their first district win tonight.
Whitehaven lining up to kick. Whitehaven has had kicking woes on punts and kickoffs. McCarter and Brady Garlock are lining up at the 20-yard line. And if Arlington comes out with a lot of momentum here, I should expect a good return here from either McCarter or Garlock.
Yeah, a great return is something that Arlington would love right now. If they can get a return like Whitehaven had to begin the game, then that would be huge, and that would just show that Arlington's even with Whitehaven.
Second half action begins now with the squib kick. McCarter on the return. He's going to come out of nowhere. He's going to break free and make it to the 47-yard line. The commentator jinks him in the right direction, getting just close to midfield and giving Arlington great field position.
Yeah, that is a huge run for McCarter, and just like I was just talking about, that is a big run, sets Arlington up in great field position, looking to get a score. If they can get a touchdown right there, that'd bring the game within 4 points, 1 score, and that'd be fantastic for Arlington.
Oh my goodness, that could have been big. But Jeffrey McCarter looks fired up. He's lined up on the left side all alone. Let's see what he can do from here on out. He has not been as active as desired in this first half.
Yeah, Whitehaven really lucky that their last line of defense wrapped up McCarter right there.
Spears with the give. He's going to get broken up, but then bounce to the outside. But what yardage after run there. Oh, my goodness. The yards after contact there was insane. He's going to get to 2nd and 5 there. That play looked completely broken, but instead he's able to make it a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, Kylan, great field awareness. He saw that pocket was covered up, so he backs out of it, and he runs around the outside, and he finds the open man.
Helmet flies off for Cockcroft there. Spears able to get 1 yard. Cockcroft calling for a face mask, but no call there. Looked like a miscommunication on the ref's part, but that's going to set up 3rd down and 4 here with Arlington running 2 consecutive run plays.
Yeah, Arlington hasn't established a dominant run game this game very well, but they've had some flashes of it. They've had their flashes of Kylan Spears and Jackson Hare finding the outside, picking up yards, picking up 1st down. And like I mentioned earlier, Arlington's not going to have huge plays against a team that is this athletic. They're going to have to grind the game out. They're going to have to get the 1st down slowly. And that's something Arlington has been doing this game.
Evan Ola with the give. He's the power back for this team. He's going to leave a little bit to be desired, setting up 4th and 2. And if you're Miller right now, with all the momentum, he looks upset, but I don't know what he's going to do here. It looks like he's going to leave his offense on the field. He is done with having to elect to punt. So they're going to go for it on 4th down with a special design play. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, this is something that having confidence in your defense is very good. You can go for 4th down. You can go for it on 4th down. Because he has trust in his defense, he knows they can get stops, and they prove that they can get stops. Then he can trust his offense that even though they might not get it, then their defense will get a stop, and they won't score.
Oh, no. That looks like a false start there for the Arlington offense. That's going to move them back to 4th and 9. Miller has to be heated right now. They had a 4th down and go opportunity, but instead they're going to have to elect to punt yet again, giving Whitehaven back the ball as Arlington bails out the Whitehaven defense.
Yeah, that's something you hate to see, is that penalties and little mistakes like that can cost you the game. And something right there, if Arlington would have gotten that 1st down, you could have seen a score, and that would have brought them within a score of the game. And, yeah.
Salatel's been a solid punter so far. He gets another one that could get a good bounce. It will get a good bounce, but it's going to be returned by Miller. He tried to get a couple yards, but instead throws someone down in the process. Gets to about the 23-yard line.
Yeah, Miller's had a fantastic game so far, but Arlington has been seeming to figure out his game and not falling for all the jukes and the stiff arms he's been usually doing. That's good by Arlington.
As we said, Miller, according to 247 Sports, has one offer from Sanford. Other schools that are looking at him are Middle Tennessee State, North Alabama, and Virginia. All quality level teams at the college level, and that would be huge if one of them could grab him, because so far he's shown how he can be electric.
Yeah, he's probably close to 200 all-purpose yards by now with that electric start at the beginning with that touchdown.
Miller's in motion there. There's throw it to the left side behind the line of scrimmage. The other number 22, Jackson Hare, brings him down just behind the line of scrimmage. That play was broken from the beginning with Ethan Smith rushing the quarterback.
Ethan Smith has done a great job by putting a pressure on the quarterback this whole game. And that's something that he's been the lifeblood of Arlington's defense so far, and putting pressure on the quarterback, forcing him to make bad decisions. And that's something he needs to continue the rest of this game if Arlington's going to stay in it.
2 running back set here for Edwards. Was it a false start or an offsides? Looks like it's going to be an offsides on Smith. He's gotten away with that a couple times, jumping right when the ball was snapped, but instead he's going to jump too early, and that's going to cost the Arlington Tigers.
Yeah, he read that wrong and resulted in offsides, but you can see that he's just ready to get those sacks, and he's ready for it.
The way the defense is playing right now, they cannot afford to be on the field long, so they must be able to stop them here, or Whitehaven might be able to get out and running. Miller to the outside. He bounces away. Even Batts is not able to grab him on the outside as Miller breaks away. The only guy that could potentially get him is Garlock, but he's not going to. Miller is taunting the defense as he runs all the way for a 70-yard touchdown run. Mark that up to 300 all-purpose yards as Whitehaven takes the lead 20-3.
Yeah, he's definitely been the standout player from either team so far in the game, and he's had a fantastic game. He's been huge on defense, but even bigger on offense. He's, like you just said, he's probably had 300 all-purpose yards. Huge game of the season probably for him, and he's just tearing Arlington's defense up right now. He's using his speed and his athleticism to find the gaps, and he's getting through them, and he's beating the defense.
And you've got to wonder if that offsides penalty had not occurred, maybe they would have felt forced to throw the ball, and that never happens. But Miller able to take advantage of that penalty on the defensive line, and he's able to break away, as you're seeing in this replay, for a 70-yard touchdown run.
That's huge for Whitehaven, putting them up close to 3 scores on Arlington.
That's going to be another kick. It is good. He's been automatic today. 21-3 is your current score right now. Whitehaven up on the Arlington Tigers. Again, Whitehaven coming in 2-4, Arlington 4-2. Whitehaven looking hungry as they are on a 4-game win streak with a very, very sad loss against Germantown 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Whitehaven is very hungry for this first district to win and to snap the 4-game losing streak. And Arlington, they're on a 3-game winning streak, but it looks like they've almost lost their energy.
Nothing would help the Arlington Tigers more than a special teams play right here. Let's see if Jeffrey McCarter can remake his magic from last time and get them good field position. But if you're going to score, the offense is going to have to start delivering. The defense is trying their hardest right now, but if they're on the field for too much time, those plays are going to be ripped off consistently.
Yeah, Arlington's defense has been keeping Arlington alive so far. And even though on that play they just didn't do the job, they've been the ones that have been keeping them alive. And let's see if their offense can get something going.
Diarra kicks it off there to McCarter. He's going to run it out. He's at the 30. He kind of bounces outside, tries to get some more extra yards. He makes it past the 35-yard line. That's going to be a good run there for McCarter. They have good field position again, but the offense is going to have to deliver.
Yeah, McCarter's had some good returns so far this game, putting the offensive in not bad field position. And the offense just hasn't been able to convert off of that. And that's something that they need to start doing and quick, with there only being 8 minutes left in the third quarter, and you have a whole quarter left to play. But Whitehaven's just not going to stop playing. They're not going to stop putting points up on the board, and that's something Arlington needs to realize.
And Ahmad Miller transferred from Briarcrest. If he is out of the equation today, if he chooses to stay at Briarcrest Christian School, then this would be a completely different game because he's practically been the only one to deliver for this Whitehaven offense. Buchanan back to pass. Hare's in the backfield in motion. That looked like a horse collar there. No call. I guess the refs missed it. They grabbed him by the neck and slung him around. That's going to be a loss of 3 or 4 yards there.
Yeah, it looks like it's getting a little heated down there, but that's something we like to see, and that's something you can expect from a game like this. 2 teams that are both hungry for some district wins, to prove themselves for playoff contention.
Buchanan is isolated in the backfield right now. Lloyd knowing that they are going to have to implement some offensive scheme that is working better than the run they've got right now. He throws it deep to Hare in the hands of the defender, number 24, Cody Balkin, the sophomore. That would have been an impressive pick But if that ball sails over his head, then Jackson Hare's got that for an easy first down.
Yeah, something Arlington probably needs to look more on is their pass game. They need to find the receivers a lot more to move the ball a lot further, because the run game, it's working, but they're not getting enough yards to get that first down.
Buchanan on 3rd down and 12. Been here before in this game. We'll see what he's got. Buchanan back to pass. Not great protection there, but Grant bounces outside with his speed, but that is read all the way by who else but number 8, Demario Smith. We've called his name in the backfield already, and the Arlington Tigers are being forced to put this defense back onto the field and punt the ball away.
Yeah, this is starting to wear on the defense, as you can tell, as that last play the defense gave up, and you can't blame them. They've been on the field most of the game. Offense hasn't been staying on for very long. Maybe 1 or 2 first downs per drive, but other than that, it goes straight back to the offense and straight back to the defense, excuse me. And their defense legs, they're just getting tired.
Luke, you talked about in pregame how the team with the most turnovers is going to take this game. Although Arlington is winning the turnover battle 1-0, Whitehaven is still on top right now. And that almost looked like a fumble there, but Ahmad Miller still able to get some yards as he gets to about the 30, where he is leveled by Evan Ola and company.
Yeah, good job by the Arlington special teams for not allowing anything like the first play to happen again. They've definitely recovered from that. They've definitely adapted. They definitely realized their mistake, and the kicks have been fantastic, putting a lot of their the Whitehaven's returners, putting them in bad position, them fumbling the ball.
And I'm going to go out on a limb and say if Whitehaven can score again, it is almost impossible for this Arlington team to come back, although I am an Atlanta Falcons fan, and I'm not going to say the magical number, but it is possible to come back from that deficit, but I wouldn't expect it in this game. So Arlington's defense really needs to step up here.
Yeah, that 28-3 number is oh, I'm sorry, I just said it, but
that's a bad word here, Luke. Can't say that.
It's been, you've seen a lot of upsets like that happen. We've seen a couple in college so far this season as well.
Yeah, definitely. We can talk about some college football later if this gets rough. But Arlington, desiring to not get it to there, they're going to wrap up him on 2nd down and 10. That's going to put them with decent field position for the Arlington defense.
Yeah, good job by Arlington's defense for wrapping up the running back right there.
Ethan Smith again involved along with Jordan Batts there on that play.
Yeah, Ethan Smith, we've said his name so many times tonight, countless times. He's definitely been Arlington's probably defensive player of the game so far tonight. He's had some big sacks, big tackles, and he's been the one keeping them alive.
And I think the main thing is his IQ. He knows exactly when to jump, and he makes it work almost every time. Screen pass, it looked like it failed at the beginning, but Carter Wood again, oh my goodness, ran from midfield all the way to the right sideline to bring him down. Craig Sally even called him the best linebacker he's ever coached, and he is showing it right there.
Yeah, Carter Wood, you see him on both sides of the field. You can see him on the left, you can see him on the right. He uses his speed, his quickness, and his size to get them tackles. He has a lot of heart. He's not going to stop no matter what. He's going to be running after that offender no matter what.
And if you have not checked it out, go watch the Minute Hoodie show on AHS Tiger Life, where we interviewed Craig Sally and Carter Wood about a lot of things that you would want to check out. That's a handoff. That's going to be brought down there, I think, by Carter Wood again. This is a crucial call. Will they move the chains? Yes, they will. That's going to be a first down for Whitehaven. The Arlington's defense is still on the field.
Yeah, that's something unfortunate. If Arlington could have just gotten that stop right there, the defense would have a chance to come off the field and regain some legs. You've seen that they've been rotating the defensive line out like they're doing right now. They've been doing that a couple times because the defense needs it. They need those breaks because they've been on the field most of the game.
And that's something that you have to implement in a game like this where they are running the ball down the gut almost every single play. That's a screen pass. Failed attempt there. Could have been caught for a solid 5 yards. Garlock in coverage.
Arlington's defense looking to get a big stop right here, forcing Whitehaven to kick the ball, hopefully.
Whitehaven up 21-3, just 4 points shy of their season average. Looking to continue to make that mark known and present in this game. But right now they are just behind midfield, 2nd and 10 to go.
Yeah, Whitehaven's season average of points probably isn't very reflective because they've played some nationally ranked opponents. with one being Brentwood, who's a huge, they're a great team, and Whitehaven got outmatched that game, but they showed what they're made of.
Yeah, Brentwood is definitely a powerhouse there in Middle Tennessee, but right there, that was Sweeten on that run. Sweeten has come in and relieved Miller when he's been tired after these big plays, and he's seeming to have the exact same impact as him when he's in the game and getting those tries.
Yeah, like you mentioned earlier, Jake, Whitehaven has a lot of depth, and that's being displayed, like you just said, and their depth has been showing what they're made of.
And that's going to be a false start, the 6th one of the game for the White Station Tigers. That's going to back them up to 3rd and 9, giving the Arlington defense a break. They will most likely utilize a pass play here, giving the secondary some work to do, but I'm sure that will be some pressure alleviated from this defensive line.
Yeah, Whitehaven's offense has been making a lot of mistakes with those flags, and it's been setting them back a lot, and it's been keeping them off the board just as much as Arlington's defense has been.
Ahmad Miller in the backfield, 2 wide receiver set, 7 on the line. We'll see what they do. They elect to throw with 2 tight ends. That's going to be caught again by the big tight end, Tayshawn Tate, the one who had the toe grab touchdown there in the Germantown game. He's going to get down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, Tayshawn Tate, he's a big guy, and he's been using his size all game. He's been getting up the middle of the field, and he's wide open because just of his size, Arlington's defenders can't get up there with him.
Also, I don't think the Arlington defense was expecting 2 tight ends to come out of that and go and try to catch the ball, but they shocked them, and they put them in bad position as they are approaching the red zone.
Yeah, something surprising by Whitehaven is they've been going a lot of run plays and blocking, but then right there they surprised them with the pass play with the tight ends.
Edwards there elects to use the jet sweep. That's going to be 80, the one who had that big catch in the first half, Tristan Boyce. He got to the outside there, but Arlington was all over that one. And good job by Boyce to get over here. You see all these guys approach him, and he's able to hold on to that ball when it was obvious that Batts was going for that fumble.
Whitehaven's offense has been very versatile throughout this game so far. You've seen them with their pass game and their run game. Not too many QB sneaks. Those have not been too successful, but they're looking to get another score right here.
And again, Arlington jumps off sides there, giving Whitehaven, after a really good first down defensive possession, they give them 5 more yards on the play, setting up 2nd and 7. Again, Arlington bailing out this Whitehaven offense, but really that's been mutual. The refs are calling it even. Both teams making mistakes that are really vital in the moment.
Yeah, Whitehaven, you've seen them most of the game trying to force Arlington to get off sides, and that's something they've been successful at. And they're making Arlington's defense make those mistakes as they get more and more tired.
Miller gets the handoff up the middle, 3rd down, and what's going to be 3 yards. Carter Wood again. And as I mentioned, I might as well mention it again. Last year against Houston, had that really scary injury, hurting his back, fracturing one of his vertebrae, along with rupturing his spleen. And this was just an awful situation for him. To see him back on the field, especially after losing muscle and weight in the offseason, to see him back on the field doing well is really awesome.
Yeah, it's something great to see. And Carter Wood has been there for us all season, making big plays.
Edwards looks to throw there. Markham Williams comes late with the unnecessary roughness penalty. That was not necessary. A sophomore mistake by Williams. Has not played much linebacker, 4th-string quarterback on this team, but it looks like he may have made a mistake that is going to lead Whitehaven into the red zone. Yep, and that's what they call an unnecessary roughness for one of the most successful drives for the Arlington defense there with the incomplete 3rd down play. That's going to be a 1st down, though.
Yeah, Williams must have thought he caught it or something, because that was a really late hit. And it's something that just the Arlington's defense can't do, but it's something that as you get more and more tired, they have those mental mistakes. And those mental mistakes are killing to Arlington's defense right now.
And just one of those mistakes being that unnecessary roughness, that has got to hurt as the defense does its job to stop the Whitehaven offense, but they continue to move the ball at the 15. Edwards hands it off. That's a new face we haven't seen. That's going to be Marlon Bernard, the fourth running back we have seen so far as he makes it 5 yards down the field.
Yeah, Arlington's defensive line almost wrapped him up in the backfield, but they're just short of doing that. And he picks up some real quick yards real quick.
Quick for sure, Luke. As they get down to the 10-yard line, maybe 9, setting up second and 4. Not goal to go yet, which is going to help them in case this Arlington defense decides to stop him after the first down. Another handoff there, again to the same guy, Marlon Bernard, the senior. He's going to be short again. Rip Pittman on the tackle.
White Station is in very good field position, and they could still get a first down as well. And with it being in that field position, they're looking to get another score, and that would be great for Whitehaven.
Whitehaven electing to take it to the fourth quarter, and we at Arlington have some special coaches. So today, we're going to take you back to our roots.
So I graduated in 2009, which would have been our second graduating class, and I actually took 2 or 3 years off. I thought about wrestling in college, but it's a grind. I kind of wanted to enjoy college for a little bit, so I took a few years off before I came back and started coaching with my high school coach, Coach Cordero, who's not here anymore.
I graduated in 2009. I was the second graduating class. When I got to college, I began working in the athletic office for the basketball team at UT Chattanooga, which led to me start coaching high school basketball when I was a junior in college.
I graduated from Arlington in 2014, and then I went and played 2 years at Jackson State Community College.
I graduated from Arlington High School in 2016. How did I continue my sports? I coached at Carterville for 2 years upon graduating.
Being a graduate is a big deal from here, having pride in Arlington High School. My wife and I were living in Chattanooga, and the opportunity came to teach and coach here, and it is just a great school, and I love it.
It's home. This is the only school I've went to. I went to Arlington since I've been in first grade. So, I mean, opportunity came, I took it.
I've always been really proud to be an Arlington Tiger. It was a unique high school experience because, you know, we didn't have seniors. We started with just sophomores and freshmen, and we kind of built from the ground up. So everybody knew everybody at Arlington when I went here. Even if you didn't really mess with that person or associate with that crew, you knew who they were. And everybody was pretty tight for that reason. And so I always had a very fond appreciation of Arlington in my time here. So it just made sense to come back.
It's always been home. You know, I've been going to Arlington schools since 6th grade. I haven't really moved, and so just being around here and just being comfortable, and I love this place.
My favorite memory, senior year, there's 2 of them. Bolton and Bartlett were our 2 biggest rivals. Actually, Principal Abraham was the coach at Bolton at the time, and we beat Bartlett on a buzzer beater, half-court shot, bank shot. And then we were the first team to beat Bolton my senior year. We beat them by 10 or so at home, and this first time we beat them, and people rushed the floor.
My favorite would be probably having our first 2 state champions. We had a really good year, 2019 I think it was, where we had 3 kids that made the state finals, and out of the 3 of them, 2 of them won.
I would say either my junior year beating Houston on a Hail Mary play to get to the third round of playoffs, or beating Whitehaven my senior year at Whitehaven.
Hanging out with the guys either after practice, you know, at the football games, at the basketball games, stuff like that, just being around them constantly and having fun.
Hey, thank you for that package there, Noah Valencia. You did a great job setting up all those interviews. And it's good to see that the coaches that come through this program want to come back and they want to make an impact on their former high school.
Yeah, it's something that you love to see. People who are homegrown in Arlington coming back with some Tiger pride and taking pride in Arlington and what it means to be a Tiger and coaching here.
Let's see if Coach Sally implemented some pride here on the defensive side. And they've got some momentum. Whitehaven again bailing out the defense. That's going to be a false start. Setting up 3rd and 9. I know a lot of y'all saw Coach Craig Sally light into him, and let's see if that lit a fire in this defense.
Yeah, something that we've seen on both both teams is that their flat penalties are just messing them up. They're in good field position, but then they're ready to make a big play, but then they get a penalty, and it just sets them back big time.
3rd and 9 here for Whitehaven, lining up 9 on the line. That's going to be a handoff to Miller, who looked like he was going to break away, but that's going to be short, 4th and 1. And if you're up almost 3 touchdowns here, you have no choice but to go for it to continue to pound this defense. This is going to be a crucial play here.
Yeah, this is a big play right here. Arlington, with Whitehaven being in the red zone, Arlington needs to get a big stop.
Miller with the handoff. Ethan Smith shuts that down immediately. And Carter Wood as well in the action. He's hyped. He's back to be playing football again this season. Sally implemented some pride in that man, and that's going to be shutting it down, giving Grant Buchanan the ball at the 7-yard line, looking to go down the field and make something happen.
Yeah, Arlington's defense is hype right now. That's something that we need. That's something, if they can continue to get big stops like that, and maybe our offense finally gets some legs and gets going, then we could see a change in this game.
Arlington has had a while to think about new strategies, new tendencies that they should implement in their game. Let's see what they come out in here and do, as they are really cramped into their own end zone.
Yeah, not a great field position for the Tigers, but maybe they can get out of it. This is something where they can't make any mistakes.
Buchanan hands off to Spears, who looks to bounce outside. He loses yards. He's going to be down at the 5-yard line, giving him a 2nd and 12.
Our run game just hasn't been very effective so far. It's just because Whitehaven's defense is so athletic. They're just faster, and they can get there, and they can get those stops. And Arlington just needs to find a way to power through that, find some gas, maybe open up the middle.
I don't think that was the play design. Spears just had no room in the middle, was forced to bounce to the outside. But, Luke, you're right. If they're going to go outside, they've got to do it quick, because this Whitehaven defense is all over it.
Maybe if they can establish some passing game, Arlington can really find some energy.
Buchanan again handed off to Spears. He gets a solid 5 yards there. But, again, Arlington cramped in their own territory with a 3rd down and 6 to go. This is not ideal if you're the Arlington Tigers.
Yeah, Whitehaven's defense knows that Arlington is in terrible field position. They're using that to their advantage. Arlington is feeling the pressure, and Whitehaven is just putting more and more onto them.
And Miller is going to have a lot of pressure on him if this play does not work out. 10 minutes left on the clock, and clock is ticking. Buchanan isolated in the backfield. Let's see what happens. Buchanan looks right. He's going to throw over the middle to Grant Roberson. Was that incomplete or not? It looked like they called it a catch, but I'm not sure. The left sideline official calling it a catch, the right calling it incomplete. What just happened there? It looks like it's going to be a 4th down for the Arlington Tigers. Yeah, they're bringing out their punt team. Coach Miller, even though they are in a territory where they need to score and do it quick, he is going to elect to put his defense back on the field. And hopefully, if you're a Tiger fan, giving Salatel the ball here will give Whitehaven really bad field position.
Salatel looking to make a big punt like he's had. He's had some great punts so far this game.
Oh, no, that is not a good one by any means. He's going to make it to about the 16-yard line, putting Whitehaven at the exact same spot as they were earlier with 4 downs to go to get to the 6-yard line.
Yeah, Whitehaven's in great field position. But Arlington's defense has stepped up. They've come alive in these big moments like this, and they've proven what they're made of. Arlington's defense has been the biggest energy of this whole game.
Arlington's defense getting about a 1.5-minute break, if that, before this defense comes back onto the field. And this team, I know you're rotating a bunch, but this team, you want to have these guys on the field at all times. And not being able to do that is hurting this defense.
Yeah, with their defense being on the field so long, they're just, like you and me mentioned earlier, is that they're just running out of energy. And that's just something that's going to happen as you've just been on the field the whole game. Arlington's defense and Whitehaven's offense have been on the field most of the game.
Did they call another false start? I don't know. Looks like they did. But honestly, it looked like they hadn't even set up, so a little bit confused by that call there. But Edwards is looking up to hurry up the offense. Edwards with the 2 running back set here. He's going to hand it off to number 1. That's going to be a good run there. He's going to make it about back to the line of scrimmage. Solid run, though, seeing as how he started from behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to be Marion Bernard.
Wrapped up by none other than Carter Wood right there.
Looked like he put something on him, too. He is down and injured on the field right now.
Carter Wood, not a weak guy. He is very strong, and he's going to hit you hard.
I don't know if it's worth mentioning or not. Jackson Lyons, backup quarterback at the moment, is warming up on the sideline. We'll see what happens there, but right now, all the attention is on this guy that's hurt right now.
Hate to see it. Jackson Lyons is a young guy, but he's been waiting to prove himself. He's been waiting to step up.
And why not talk about Jackson? Let's talk about him. Next year, looks to assume the role of the quarterback. Luke, you'll be here, I won't. How do you think he will impact this team once he gets the starting position?
You know, Jackson, he started off in JV games. He's been playing very good. Right now, you can see Coach Miller's actually talking to him right now, so that's something promising. You can see you might see him be suited up into the game. And Jackson, he's done fantastic in JV games. He started off big, I think with 4 touchdowns in one JV game right off in the first half.
Yeah.
That's something big. That's super promising. That he's just a sophomore. He's not, it's not like he's a junior. He's had, last year he just played freshman ball and a little bit of JV, but this year he stepped up taking the role, and he's also had a little bit of touches on varsity, but he's played his role very well, and he's always been waiting to step up. You've seen him a little bit on defense. Coach tells him wherever to go, and he'll go, and he'll do exactly what he's told.
You've got Drew Benjamin there and Jackson Lyons warming up. Grant Buchanan has been the solidified quarterback one this year, but in a game like this, who knows what they will try to pull out. But here we go. Good news, claps are being made as Bernard is being carried off the field. Hopefully that was not an injury where his leg got tangled up. We've seen some impact guys in the NFL have injuries like that, and that is something we don't want to see. Speaking of Alex Smith and Dak Prescott, hopefully it wasn't that severe of a leg injury, but he would have to be carried off with no power on his legs.
Yeah, that's something you hate to see is injuries. Injuries just affect the game so much, and it's affected any team that you see. They always have key players go down with injuries because those are always the guys that lay their bodies on the field, and they go 100% of the time, and sometimes that just results in the worst.
And I honestly have no idea what just happened. They ran the ball and got back to the line of scrimmage, but now they are backed up to their own 27. I honestly don't know where that came from, but it looks like it's going to be a 2nd and, 20?
Looks like about 20.
2nd and 22? I mean, I don't really know what's going on here. Refs are discussing it with the players. They're a little bit confused as well. But it looks like all the air is cleared up. One running back set with Ahmad again, so we'll see what happens here. Miller takes the handoff. He's going to get tackled there. Good job by Jackson Hare and Carter Wood to get in the action. Able to bring him down, setting up 3rd and 16. And whatever the penalty was is a huge break for the Arlington defense, having to come back on the field. They get a little break for the injury, but now they are setting up 3rd and 16, which is really not ideal for Whitehaven.
Yeah, Arlington's defense, like we've mentioned so much in this game, they're just keeping Arlington alive, and they've pushed Whitehaven all the way back to around the 25. And Whitehaven started about on the 15. So that's something you love to see from Arlington. They're putting pressure on. They're making him make mistakes.
Edwards has, again, Alden Miller in the backfield. He looks to throw, though. He's going to go deep. Play is thrown off again. What is happening? And that would have been a catch as well, but that's going to be a false start penalty. Yet again, setting up what should be past 2nd and 20, more like 2nd and 24, or 3rd and 24 rather, for the Whitehaven offense.
Yeah, that's something that was great to be waved off for Arlington. Something lucky because that touchdown was just easy, and good for Arlington. That did not happen, and that Arlington's defense is once again forcing Whitehaven to make mental mistakes as they're tired. Because Arlington's defense has been on the field for so long, of course, Whitehaven's offense has been there for just the same amount of time. And that just leads to guys getting tired, and they're just getting wary.
Practically the only guy that's been targeted for this offense has been Tyshawn Tate. If you're the Arlington Tigers, look to get him in coverage. But that's going to be a timeout for the Whitehaven Tigers. We've got 10:07 left in this 4th quarter. Whitehaven up 21-3.
was. Jonathan Elliott there picks up the ball. They tackled him in the backfield. The ball ran all the way to the 50-yard line, giving the Arlington Tigers fantastic field position. The defense has stepped up so much. Jonathan Elliott there, man, he's played well this game.
This is huge for Arlington. Their defense has been putting the offensive back in the field as much as possible and puts them in great field position right at the 50, and Arlington has a lot of room to work with.
And it is Drew Benjamin taking the place of Grant Buchanan. This is a sight to see. Grant Buchanan been the starting quarterback ever since the first game of the season when Drew came in at the end. But right now he's being replaced. Miller going deep in his bag to see what he can do. Ola there on the carry, getting to exactly midfield. A gain of 4 there.
Good job by Ola, using his strength. Ola's a very strong guy. He gets up that middle and then he just powers his way through, gets a couple extra yards after contact.
2nd down and 6 here for the Arlington offense. Benjamin not yet utilized here, but I'm very interested to see what it's going to look like on these pass plays. Benjamin motioning Ola to his left side. He's going to drop back to pass. That's a throw there to McKeel Larry, his first target of the game. Coverage there by Terrence Whitley, the freshman corner, able to get that ball away from Larry.
Yeah, that was a lot of promise right there on that play. Even though it was knocked down by the defense, it was right on target. That was put almost right in McKeel Larry's hands. But the defense made the stop, and that'll happen sometimes. But it's good to see that Benjamin has the good arm, and he's right on target with it.
Miller changing the play here. He is elected to call the plays in crunch time over Lloyd. Benjamin's going to get the snap right about the line of scrimmage. That looked like offsides first. Oh, the defense jumped first, it looked like, but instead that's going to be a false start there by Marcel Mills on the right side at the right tackle position.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that call very much. It looks like the defense definitely went off sides first, and Mills was just reacting to that defense.
It looked like, I don't even know what you would call that, a neutral zone infraction most likely, because he got in the face of Mills before that was even called a penalty. But either way, 3rd and 11 here for Arlington, again being set back by penalties and mistakes.
Something you've seen on both sides of the ball that have been killing both teams.
Benjamin drops back to pass. He throws it a little over the head of Jackson Hare. Not many options there on the defensive side. In coverage there was Jacoby Smith. That's the first time we've called his name. Almost had the pick there.
Looks like Arlington's offense is going to stay on the field, which it makes complete sense because they're down big time with not a lot of time to make up a lead like that.
Not a lot of time yet. This has been the longest 2 minutes I've ever experienced, especially at the beginning of a quarter. So if the play keeps going like it is right now, maybe they'll have a little bit of time, but right now this is totally 4-down territory. O-line motion to the left side. Benjamin drops back. He's looking to throw deep. He's got Roberson on the right sideline. That's going to be the first completed pass for over 20 yards. Looks like another flag there. They might call targeting on that. He got right to the head, and that might put Arlington even closer, probably to the 20-yard line inside the red zone.
Yeah, Grant Roberson, by far one of the better players in the junior class. Plays on both sides of the ball. He's been coming up big tonight. He picked up the fumble earlier that was forced by Ethan Smith, and right here a big play on the 4th down, and he makes the conversion, and it's just huge. Moves those chains.
Catch over Miller right there on the defensive side. Not Ahmad Miller, but another Miller on that defensive side. What a throw there by Benjamin to get it over the defense and right into the breadbasket of Roberson.
Yeah. Drew Benjamin puts it right on the money, and that's what we love to see is Benjamin, a guy just coming off the bench, hasn't played very much this season as quarterback, but he puts it right on the money, and you see those chains getting moved.
And Whitehaven electing to take a timeout there with Arlington's best completed catch there so far. And honestly, that shows me that they're a little nervous about this. Arlington able to get in the red zone with a great pass and catch and a good penalty for them. This could be potentially fantastic if they were able to get on the board here.
Yeah, what Arlington really needs to do to get back in this game, they need to pick up this touchdown right here. and then they need to get another big defense stop, but they need to get it quick. They need to get it quick, and they need to get the offense back on the field, and they need to get that offense. That you need another offensive score.
So just a touchdown, and then another touchdown.
Pretty much.
That would be ideal if Arlington can do so. Cordova last week implementing a lot of onside kicks in order to return the ball to themselves. We'll see if they can implement that as well if they were able to get on the board here.
Or you could have them go for 2 touchdowns, go for 2 both those times, and get a field goal, and that'd put Arlington up by 1.
Benjamin looking for the screen pass. He was in absolutely no hurry there. I mean, the pocket was just collapsing on him, and he stood still like there was no one else near him. Luckily there, no one came out of nowhere and stripped the ball because he was very prone to something like that.
Yeah, the pocket collapsed on Benjamin right there. He seemed to not be very aware about what was going on around him until it was too late. And, you know, that's something that you'll see with a guy with not too many QB touches. But maybe as the game goes on, he'll be more aware.
And sometimes you'd rather him be more calm than, you know, more willing to get outside the pocket and just run it when he sees the pocket collapse. So honestly, if that is your foundation, you can definitely work good from that.
100%, Jake.
Benjamin throws it to Larry. That's behind him. He gets leveled there by the defense. That's going to be number 84 there on the coverage. But just a miscommunication there between Larry, but not necessarily on him. You've got a new quarterback. Larry's been out for the last 4 games. So these are both new guys that are trying to connect on the offensive end.
Yeah, glad to see Larry back. He's a guy who's been out with injury most of this season. And with him being back, it's great to see because he's a good player for Arlington.
For sure, he's one of the most electric wide receivers that Arlington has. Benjamin backs to pass. He's going to throw a screen pass. Don't even know what happened there, but that's going to be picked off by Whitehaven. Was it picked off or was it not? No one signaled it yet. I don't know. We are just as confused as you are. It looks like they called it incomplete. We'll watch this. Yeah, that was incomplete. Looked like it hit the ground there, but no ref really having a good look at it. That's going to lead to 4th down. Benjamin stays on the field to lead this offense in a 4th and 12 opportunity.
Yeah, very lucky that wasn't picked off because that would have been huge for Whitehaven's defense, giving Whitehaven's offense the ball, able to run the clock down if they really wanted to.
Wide receivers on the field. You've got McKeel Larry, Evan Ola, Jacob Tidwell, Jackson Hare, and then Jeffrey McCarter. Let's see what can happen here with these experienced guys on the outside as Benjamin rolls to the right. He throws it deep for the end zone. That's going to be incomplete. Caught well 5 yards out of bounds. And Arlington again forfeiting possession as they give the ball to Whitehaven just outside the red zone.
Yeah, these bad throws are definitely not on Benjamin. They're definitely on the offensive line. We're letting the defensive line just getting right through, putting too much pressure on the quarterback. Benjamin has almost gotten sacked every single down, and that's something you just can't happen on the offensive side, and that's something that's happened all game. The Whitehaven's defensive line has been electrified. They've been getting through, and they've been getting sacks.
Well, with Whitehaven shutting down the short passes to the outside, you almost have no option but to go deep. But again, the secondary for Whitehaven is playing so well right now. They are shutting down almost every opportunity that Arlington has, especially because they know that they have to throw the football. Whitehaven lining up, 6:36 left, and they will most likely just try to run this clock out. As they do elect to do so, man hits his own player on the offensive line. That's going to be Roland Sweeten yet again. It looked like he could have bounced free to the outside, but again, there's yellow on the field.
Yep, nothing new here. There's been a lot of yellow tonight, a lot of penalties, and it's just been mental mistakes by both teams.
I mean, that was a late flag, so I doubt it was a false start. No signal yet from the referees. It looks like they're going to move this play up a little bit. Maybe some poor action there on the defensive side, whether it was a face mask or a horse collar, who knows. But, I mean, that's a terrible break for Arlington because he bounced off his own player onto the ground.
Yeah, Whitehaven picked up a lot of yards off that play, picked up that 1st down, and Arlington just can't have that happen right now. They need to keep Whitehaven off the board if they're ever going to come back.
And clock is ticking while they figure out this flag situation. Roberson coming on the outside. That's going to be no good. Again, Ethan Smith in the backfield Carter Wood. Oh, the ball popped out. What happened? No signal from the ref. Who came up with it? I can't even tell. It looks like they're going to give the ball back to Whitehaven. Even though they did not get that fumble recovery, the Whitehaven Tigers are back to the 25-yard line where that first down conversion was last time before that penalty.
Yeah, Whitehaven's really lucky that he was down right before he fumbled the ball, because Arlington would have been in great field position looking to score right there.
And we've got to mention this. We interviewed him at halftime, but not having Torres on the offensive side of the football is really hurting Arlington. As we've mentioned, 7 touchdowns the entire season. He has had an impact on the offense, and not having here is maybe a reason why they've only scored 3 points.
Yeah, he's definitely been one of the Arlington's best wide receivers.
That's going to be a run there. Whitehaven just looking to run out the clock. That's going to be Joe Williams there on the run. Joe Williams with a solid resume for himself. He's actually gotten offered by Tennessee, Memphis, Buffalo, Middle Tennessee State University, and Arkansas State. So even a guy that we have not called his name as much, he's gotten offered from an SEC school.
Yeah, this is something that Whitehaven has a few of, is guys with offers, and you can see that they're just skilled players. They use their athleticism, but with their athleticism, they have IQ.
Ethan Smith comes out of nowhere. Looked like he was barely offsides. Jumped a little bit too early there. Ref, no call. He's just going to give it to the Arlington Tigers. And a timeout is called by Coach Miller to set up 4 minutes and 21 seconds with Whitehaven forcing themselves to punt.
Yeah, you've seen Smith anticipate a lot of those plays, almost being offsides, but he's definitely been getting a lot out of those and getting big sacks. He's probably had one of his best games this season so far.
Oh,
4 sacks?
This is undoubtedly his best game of the season for sure. And I think a lot of it is just the IQ to jump. He's obviously done his weekly work to understand what this team does. He's watched a lot of film, and he knows when this team is going to snap the ball. And you see there, he just gets a jump almost every single play, and that leads to these sacks.
Yeah, surprisingly, he's only had 1 offsides for how much he jumps, but he does it so perfectly that it's resulted in about 4 or 5 sacks so far.
And if you're Jeffrey McCarter right now, you know the impact that this play could have on this game right now. You need a good special teams play in order to even have a chance to come back.
Yeah, this is something huge. McCarter has had some good returns so far. Let's see if we can get another one.
Kenneth Cochran, the tight end and corner on this team, is going to punt the ball. That's almost blocked by who else but Ethan Smith yet again. McCarter electing to allow this ball to roll and waste some time off this clock. Whitehaven trying to kick it. They're just having fun right now. Arlington going to get the ball at the 38-yard line.
Yeah, Arlington in not bad field position, but they still have about 60 yards to go to get a touchdown. And, you know, Whitehaven's just trying to run down the clock. So if Whitehaven gets the ball again, you could see the end of this game.
Benjamin coming back at the quarterback position. We saw him and Lyons warming up, but Benjamin's going to get the nod here with 4 minutes left to go. He's got a solid arm. Let's see if he can set up some downfield action.
Yeah, it's good to get some guys some experience in case you ever need them down the road.
3 wide receivers set on the right side, 1 on the left, and that's going to be a false start for Arlington. Nothing working here. Miscommunications, missed blocks, missed throws. Everything is just out of sorts here for Arlington, and that can be understandable. You see that a lot at the college level, how teams can go from playing lesser opponents and then they come out and play a solid opponent who's been battle-tested, played good teams, played solid competition, and it's just not working out well for them right now.
Yeah, like you just said, Whitehaven's played nothing but competition. They've played one of the best teams in Tennessee in Brentwood, and they've also played the best teams in the district. Even though they've lost those games, they've played them tightly, and it's just battle-hardened them. And Arlington, who hasn't played as well as competition, they've proved themselves against that competition, but they just haven't played the quality of players that Whitehaven is.
And some extracurricular activity going on there, setting up 1st and 30. That's not ideal if you're an Arlington Tiger. Not at all.
Yeah, Arlington with some decent field position turned into not so great.
Oh my goodness, Benjamin looks to set up the 5-yard pass to Hare. Had absolutely no room. Whitehaven read that well. And I think if you're going to call the game at any point, this would have to be the time. Arlington showing no momentum and no hope to continue to go move down the field.
Yeah, like I said a little bit ago, if Whitehaven gets this ball back, then that'll probably be ball game. They're going to just run the clock out most likely.
And Arlington, after this loss that they will most likely receive, will sit at 2-2 in the district, which is 5th, right outside the top 4 that make the district playoffs. And that's going to be a little extracurricular. There's a flag. Yeah, you've got to throw that one. That's going to be Joe Williams there on the hit. You cannot do that. It is a game with less than 4 minutes to go. You're up 2 touchdowns and a half. You cannot allow that to happen, especially for the experienced linebacker.
Yeah, just something that there's no point in doing. You're up by this much with that little time to go, and just making penalties like that just doesn't make sense at all.
It's just chippy. Like, you don't do that in a game like this. You're up so much. You know the other team has had their struggles. To do that is just not a good look for Whitehaven. Benjamin again in the game. 4 wide receivers set on the outside. They are no doubt going to throw the ball here. Benjamin looking early to McCarter. He's going to bounce outside. He's going to get the first down and make it out to the 47-yard line of Whitehaven.
Benjamin has looked very comfortable inside the pocket. He's a very patient player. And when you see that the pocket doesn't collapse on him and the O-line does their job, you see some plays made out of it, and that's what we love to see.
Good comeback route there by McCarter, something they have not utilized yet. Benjamin looks up. He's going to throw a dot. It hits him right in the chest again. Same guy there. Hare with the missed catch, but also a missed interception opportunity for Ortiz Wells.
Benjamin's throws have been a little off target sometimes, but no interception yet so far, which is a good thing. He's been dropping back in that pocket. He's been comfortable, and he's almost finding the receivers, but just not quite.
Benjamin getting up to throw. He's going to take it himself with a little room to run. He's going to make it to the first down. Good run there by Benjamin, showing off that he can be a dual threat quarterback himself.
Yeah, Benjamin, he's a big guy. He's not too slow either. He saw the open fielding, took that advantage of it, and he got the first down.
And I think the difference there between him and Buchanan would have taken off a little bit sooner than that, but Benjamin allowing that secondary to go down the field leads to that run play there. That's going to be Benjamin there to throw the outside to McCarter. That's incomplete. It's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Benjamin showing his throwing IQ. He's very patient, and he lets those receivers open up for some targets. He's been targeting on passing a lot more. We've also seen, as Benjamin's been on the field, that Arlington has been looking to throw the ball a lot more, not relying so much on their running backs like they do so much with Buchanan.
Benjamin looking deep to no one. That's going to be incomplete there for Cole Leaptrot. Looked like Leaptrot had a step on his defender, but Benjamin assumed that he had Gabriel Torres speed. That's going to be incomplete, and it's going to be 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, Cole Leaptrot did a great job by getting that step ahead of his man, but Arlington could not convert on that. It's just something Arlington hasn't been able to do all game, is when their receivers beat their man in coverage, they just haven't been able to get the ball to them.
Benjamin throws short to McCarter on the screen play. Yes, McCarter gets that first down past the 20-yard line into the red zone. Time is running out here. Looked like Arlington called that quick timeout. Good job by the scorekeeper there to stop the clock immediately. He knew that was coming.
McCarter has stepped up ever since Torres has left. He's been a great asset for Arlington. He's been one of the better players on offense by far tonight.
And I thought they called that timeout because it looked like they moved the scoreboard. But instead, that's going to be a 1st down and 10. And with that injury, the clock will stay stopped until they get set, and now it is running at 2:30. Benjamin looks to throw, takes his time. He's going to throw again to McCarter, who had it in his grasp. And then it fell out to the ground. No pick opportunity there, but for McCarter, you've got to have your hands on that in a game like this.
Yeah, McCarter gets hit pretty hard and just comes out of his hands. And if he just came down with that, that'd been close to another first down or first down, I can't tell. And put him around the 10-yard line in a great field position for Arlington, looking to score.
Benjamin taking his time, elects to check it down to Grant Roberson. He's going to get a few yards, but clock is ticking. They're down to 2:15 now. Inside the 20 yet. It's going to be third down.
Maybe if Arlington gets another score on the board, not enough time to come back, but just show that they can still score against a team like Whitehaven.
Ola in motion. Benjamin likely back to pass. Yes, he is. He looked like he was going to go deep for Leap Trot, but Leap Trot came back. Benjamin's going to throw really late there. Nothing going for him. None of the wide receivers were open on that play. So it's going to be 4th down and 7 in what is most likely going to be Arlington's last offensive play of the game, unless they were able to convert and get the first down or even a touchdown score.
Yeah, Benjamin stayed in that pocket for a little too long, and the receivers just didn't get open, and that's something that is a big difference between Benjamin and Buchanan, is that Benjamin sits patiently in the pocket, but Buchanan, as soon as he sees that there's no open receivers, he usually hits the gun and runs, and he uses speed, which is a big difference between the two.
And a lot of it is Benjamin's height. He is able to find these receivers for a longer period of time, and that is why he can afford to be more patient. But we've got a minute 44 left in this game. Whitehaven over Arlington 21-3. Arlington's only points being a field goal late in that first half.
Yeah, Arlington just hasn't been able to move the chains far enough to be able to get into that red zone very often, caused by a lot of mistakes. Whitehaven getting their first district win, most likely tonight, and that's something that's big for them, that they've needed, especially going into the playoffs in a couple weeks.
Miracles are possible, but this would be a big one right here. I know all miracles are pretty big, but this would be a massive one as Benjamin lines up 4th and 7 here. 5 wide receivers set. Arlington pulling out every single one of their offensive playmakers to see what they can make happen as they look to get 7 yards. Benjamin back to pass. He looks deep for Roberson. That's going to be incomplete there. Arlington's hope are diminished. They're going to fall to 2-2. As my friend Pete Pranica says, ball game. That's not what he says, but it's okay. I forgot the quote, but Pete Pranica, you're a GOAT.
Yeah, Arlington just couldn't convert on that play. You saw something that they haven't done the whole game, throwing out 5 receivers right there, putting their offensive 1-to-1 against the defensive line, not giving them very much time to get the receivers open, because Whitehaven's defensive line has just been monstrous this game.
Monstrous indeed for them, as Whitehaven is just going to look to run out this clock and win this game today. Arlington's defense, solid showing tonight, but either way, they are going to fall to and solidify themselves at 5th in the district.
Yeah, Arlington's defense only giving up 14. Well, Arlington's defense, special teams gave up 7. But Arlington's defense only giving up 14 to a team that averages 25 points per game is pretty solid. It's good. It's good to see that Arlington's defense is great and that they can play against big teams. And hopefully their offense can pick up as the season goes on and we start to play better competition and getting us ready for playoffs.
And this is a big game for Arlington, seeing what a tough opponent is like on the other side of the football. And I'm sorry, Mr. Pranica, you're a legend, man. Hammer, nail, coffin is what you say, and that is going to be what is the deciding factor in this game. Whitehaven running the ball all over the Arlington Tigers, and they are up 18 in what is a solid district win for them. If they have any hope of trying to get into the top 4, this was a must-win for them as they go into Cordova and White Station next week. They most likely will set up at 3-3 as they go into the biggest game at the end of the season.
Yeah, this was a huge win for White Station. Really what defined was getting them to the playoffs, as they have Cordova and White Station, which they should be able to beat because they handled Arlington so well.
And he's going to run the ball there with 7 seconds left ticking on this clock. And Arlington takes the L, losing 21-3 to the Whitehaven Tigers. Arlington, like we've previously mentioned, falling to 2-2 in the district, 4-3 overall, while Whitehaven falls to 1-3 in the district, as well as 3-4 overall.
Yeah, great showing by Arlington's defense, but Whitehaven just outplayed tonight. They just came out, they were aggressive, they had the fire, and you could just tell from the beginning of this game that they were ready and they were prepared for Arlington.
And that's going to be a wrap here from us at AHS Tiger Life. Thank you to the AHS Tiger Life crew for providing us a great look at this game. I am Jake Stoop alongside Luke McBride. We were pleased to have you listen to our game today, and we will see you next time when we take on Houston on October 21st.
And don't look at the camera. Keep looking over here.
My name is Jacob Tidwell. I'm a senior here at Arlington, and I play football.
Okay.